see it clearer in the fog. I'm exiled to the greener grass, searching for the uncertain haze. Familiar skies and a well-worn path. Oh yeah, I need a cloud to cover up my escape. The clock is an unforgiving warden who watches as I'm off mistaken. Is it deep enough to risk it? Am I
Leslie Miracle. Leslie grew up playing and watching ball and has remained a strong advocate for youth and families throughout her life.
And good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Brantford Red Sox baseball here in the CBL. The visiting Welland Jackfish are geared up and ready to go. It's going to be a tough night tonight for both teams as the rain has just ended. The skies are breaking up. It's a very comfortable shirt sleeve evening here in Brantford, and we're sure happy that you're along with us. Tonight, we've got an exciting game ahead of us, and we've got some good pitching and some good hitting. But before we get to that, we've got the national anthem coming up. We got the starting lineups coming up, and so we're going to talk about that just a little bit. But first, we want to talk about the two teams that are playing tonight. The visiting Welland Jackfish, and if you don't know anything about them, fans, you're in for a treat tonight because they played a game old school back before launch angles and all that, when teams were stealing bases, moving runners around. That's the kind of baseball the Welland Jackfish play. It reminds me of the 1987 St. Louis Cardinals, where they played something called Whitey Ball. Their manager, Whitey Herzog, had a team full of rabbits. Vince Coleman, who stole over 100 bases that year, the Wizard Ozzie Smith, Tommy Herr, and Willie McGee, and of course they had great defense up the middle, just like the Welland Jackfish do. And so back in those days, the great Tony Pena was a top catcher of his day, and of course the Welland Jackfish have Robert Mullen at shortstop. They had the Wizard Ozzie Smith, and Welland Jackfish have Luther and Weisner up the middle, where they had Ozzie and Tommy Herr up the middle. Center field, Vince Coleman. Now they have Gio Morello, Welland does, but he's not playing tonight. Tonight we're going to see Justin Gideon in center field. But that strong defense up the middle, it means everything to a team. With a pitcher can go out there, throw strikes, let the ball get put into play, and know that his defense is going to be there to help him out. The other comparisons are that neither team hits a lot of home runs. Both teams finishing last in home runs, total hit. The St. Louis Cardinals were the last ones to hit. The Welland Jackfish are last currently in the league. But at the end of the day, St. Louis stole 247 bases in 162 games, and the Welland Jackfish has stolen 51 in 16. And so now you've got a combination where you've got the best base-stealing team in the league versus the team that is having the least amount of success in knocking out would-be base runners. And so it's going to be a real challenge for Andrew Savage behind the plate and tonight's starting pitcher, Leandro Mejia, a big 6'8" horse. We're going to talk about him in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to do the national anthem, and we'll just take a little pause.
The Canadian national anthem. Right. And now, fans, please join me in giving a warm Red Sox.
Okay, baseball fans, we are ready to go. And I'm going to go through the Brantford Red Sox defense for you tonight. We're starting off with Andrew Savage behind the plate. And, of course, Cassidy Watt out at first base. Christian Ortega out at second base. Normally a corner outfielder. They've got a couple injuries on the team. And so it's kind of a mishmash lineup. Jacob Cantor, who's still having some heart trouble, is going to be down today. And DH. So you've got Lucas Bateman out at shortstop. Tim Holick, who played a bunch of third base for this team last season before he moved on to the Pioneer League, is going to be back at third base. And the newest Red Sox player, who we're going to talk about a little bit, Christian Kuzemka, who's playing his first game, his debut out in left field. Ian Antone is out as well tonight with a bit of an injury. Holmgren out in center field, playing his fourth game for the Red Sox, and of course the fixture out in right field, Brody Black. And on the mound is the big man, 6'8", 245 pounds worth of Leandro Mejia. And Leandro throws very hard. Now they're trying to stretch him out to be a starting pitcher. He normally has been in relief. He's gone from closer to setup guy to bulk relief, and now they're going to see if they can stretch him out and make a starter out of him. And let's face it, the numbers have not been great for Brantford pitching-wise, and they've been under a lot of stress. It's a compacted schedule here, so you need lots of pitching in this league. And so they're going to try out Mejia, and he has the standard stuff. He's got a very hard fastball. He can throw a four-seamer. He can throw a sinker, and he can throw a two-seamer that breaks into the right-handed hitter. He also has a nice slider. He has a changeup, though he doesn't use it very much, and he will on a very rare occasion use a cutter. Now the cutter is more of busted in on left-handed hitters, and but that hard slider, it is a nightmare. I tell you what, it's a really hard pitch to get. So when he throws that cutter, it's a late breaker, and so he is going to see if he can slow down the train that is the Welland Jackfish. Tonight's batting order for the Welland Jackfish is a little bit of a change from the norm. They got a couple of regulars that are not playing for them tonight. Number one is Gio Morello, and so they've got batting first Ike Arbe, the left fielder is batting in the one hole. Jonah Weisner, one of the best players in this league. Number two, playing at second base. He led the league in hits last year. He is among the league leaders in stolen bases. He is a wizard out at second base, and I'm here to tell you, folks, he is one of the best players in this league. You're going to enjoy watching him. Ethan Mann, the DH, batting in the 3-hole. Justin Gideon, the center fielder, in the 4-hole. Robert Mullen, the catcher, batting 5. Brandon Hoope, batting 6 and playing in right field. James Smybert filling in at shortstop tonight, and he's batting 7th. Logan Grant is a player that I haven't seen a lot of, playing first base, and of course in the 9-hole at third base, Carson Johnson. So we are ready to go. Leandro Mejia getting ready to throw his first pitch of the evening, and we are underway. Mejia sets, always pitching from the stretch, and a nice busted pitch inside, and gets a swing out of Arbe, and it's no balls, 1 strike. The sun has just come out now, and so bear with us. We may end up getting a bit of a delay here. We'll see what happens here. And right away, the Welland Jackfish management are out asking about the sun. It's a little bit higher than normal when they slow it down here. And as I mentioned before, we had the rain, and then we had the clouds. And, of course, just as we throw the first pitch, the sun comes out bright, and it's a beautiful sunshiny day. But unfortunately, for those who have never seen a game in Brantford, the diamond faces almost due west, and it makes it very difficult for batters to see when the sun is shining in their eyes. And so there's a bit of a discussion here. We'll see if they get going or not. And out comes acting manager Greg Ropp to talk to the home plate umpire, and we're going to have a little discussion here. The sun is fairly high up, and so if there's no cloud cover coming in, we will almost assuredly get what we call a sun delay. It is the rarest of the rare. You know, most diamonds are looking for sunshine, and we sure love the sunshine, but unfortunately, as I mentioned, the diamond face is almost due west. So if you've never seen a game in Brantford here, it's a bit of a hiccup here in the design of the ball field, which is otherwise, Arnold Anderson, which is a wonderful ballpark, good dugouts, good locker rooms for both sides. But so now I think we're going to have a discussion with the umpire and crew here to see if we're going to be able to get this game going. It's a heck of a thing here when we throw the first pitch and then the management comes out and starts discussing the delay. The sun is now going in behind a cloud, but that is going to be a temporary situation because there's clear sky in behind it. And so the fans are restless and want to get the game underway. So here I am with some serious filler going on right away as we start, and we're going to try and get the first batter, and I think it looks like it anyway. There's some shoulder shrugging going on. Arbe is stepping into the box like he intends to hit. And it looks like we're going to have a go here. And indeed we are. So just as a reminder, there's only been one pitch thrown. And it was a swinging strike to Arbe. So we're going to get going again here. Pitch number 2 is a pitch outside. And the count is now 1-1. Arbe is his first year in the league here. He's a very good hitter, runs very well. So Holick out at third base playing in a little bit. And the pitch is outside again, almost the same location, possibly a little further out than this 1-1 pitch, and it's 2-1 to Arbe. As a rule, Mejia does work fairly quickly, especially when there's nobody on base. Here comes the pitch, is up and in for ball 3, 3-1. And the one thing that's really going to cause you a problem with this Welland team is if you don't throw them strikes, because they will take a walk. And the thing about my comparison to the old 1987 St. Louis Cardinals is that they have a certain way of scoring, and I'm going to talk about that when I get an opportunity. Mejia set for the 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Up and outside, ball 4. It's a 5-pitch walk to Arbe, and this is how Welland rolls. They don't hit a lot of home runs. They don't hit a lot of extra base hits. They are a frustrating team to watch. I'll be true if you're cheering for the other team because they'll get a hit or a walk. They'll steal second. They'll get another single. He'll score from second. Then that guy will steal second, and so on and so forth. And that's how they can really run it up on you. Death by paper cuts, as I have heard it referred to. So we've got nobody out. Arbe at first. We'll see how Mejia is at keeping runners close. Arbe has a very good lead out there. The pitch, and a runner goes, and the throw down to second base. Gets out into center field, so Arbe slides in safely. A good throw might have got Savage there. Mejia did a pretty good job of getting the ball in quickly. Unfortunately, Savage needed a perfect throw. Arbe still got a good jump. And so now we have Jonah Weisner here, and I will extol his virtues all night long. He's one of my favorite players in this league. Great hitter, great runner, could steal bases, and he is an absolute wizard out at second base. So Arbe out at second base. First pitch was a ball, by the way. Second pitch coming in, just low. And it's 2-0. So the Mejia's, if he has a fault, is that he's had, on occasion, some slight control problems. When he throws strikes, he is very, very tough on hitters. There's a nice pitch there, tailing fastball in, catches the outside corner, 2 balls and a strike. Mejia is an imposing figure on the mound. I don't know if you can pick that up, but when you see him from the center field camera, he almost blocks out everybody at the plate there. He's just a huge man. Little jump from Arbe. Base hit and a shot up the middle, fielded cleanly by Bateman, throws it over to first, gets the out. Off to third base goes Arbe, and the Red Sox beneficiaries there of a left-handed hitter, whereas Bateman was shading up the middle, keeping the runner close, and Weisner hit it basically right to him on 3 hops. Got a gravy hop there, picked it up cleanly. Nice throw over first to Cassidy Watt, who is doing double duty for this team now. Catches a lot. He's played some third base. Today he's at first base. So 1-8 now and a runner at third. And it's Ethan Mann, the designated hitter. Slider comes in, a nice pitch there. First pitch strike. As I mentioned, that slider is a nasty pitch especially to right-handed hitters, where it looks like it's coming right down the middle, and just the late break of it, it dives and makes it very difficult to lay off of. The 0-1 pitch, just outside, and we are 1-1. Holick at third base is staying fairly close to Arbe, trying to keep him close. Obviously, he's not in too far, not anticipating a bunt, but the infield otherwise is back. Cassidy Watt is in a little bit, maybe even with the base, hoping maybe that a hard ground ball will give them a chance to get Arbe at the plate. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure of one out here, because Arbe runs really, really well. And if you don't get him, then you run the risk of one of those crooked numbers going up in the first inning. So man steps back in with a 2-1 count. Mejia gets his sign and comes set. And the pitch. Pulled it outside again, 3-1. Tough customer in Justin Gideon up next, so you really want to focus on throwing a strike here and making man swing the bat and earn his way on. The 3-1 pitch. Nice pitch there on the tailing fastball, 3-2 pitch coming your way. Arbe with a fairly conservative lead at third base. Outfield play man straight away, not deep. And the pitch. Just inside, and it's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning now, runners at first and third, and the very dangerous Justin Gideon coming to the plate. Left-handed hitter. Gideon has had a lot of success in this league, and he'll be looking to take advantage now. With very nearly a balk there, almost a hesitation on that throw over by Mejia. Keeping in mind that although they don't carry all the major league rules in this league, the one rule that I really like that they carry is the 2 throw-over rule. Once he throws over twice, he can't throw over again. If he doesn't get him out on the third one, it is a balk. And the pitch to Gideon, a slider. Ooh, just up. With nobody out and a left-handed hitter up, I'm not sure if man will go or not. The Jackfish, as I mentioned, love to run. Conservative lead off at first base, not going. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Nice pitch there on the outside of the plate on the fastball. The thing about not running at this point is that you've got Cassidy Watt holding the runner on, and so you've got a lot of room on the right-hand side of the field to get something through and get a run in. Mejia steps off. And the disengagement also counts the same as a throw over. So again, if he throws over for a third time, he has to get an out or it's a balk. And in this case, both runners will advance. The 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. And a base hit and a fly ball to first base. A line drive is caught and back into the infield and doubled off at first base was Mann. A line drive right at Brody Black, in right field. And with the runner going on the pitch, Ethan Mann was caught in no man's land. Black made a fantastic throw to first base. They get the double play. And Brantford escapes with a runner on third and 1 out. They get the double play and get out of the inning.
Join us next Friday night at 7 p.m. as the Red Sox take on the Chatham Town.
So a great play there. It was well struck, the ball, and in fairness, I'm not having a lot of success following those line drives with that sun, but I'll give you the best description I can, folks. Anyway, Brody Black was perfectly located there. He ended up having the ball hit right to him, had to run in a little bit to catch it, and then it was, frankly, he could have walked it in and got the third out at first base, but he threw it in nicely into Cassidy Watt at first base and got the third out. All he had to do was step on the base, and that, as they say, was that. So we will go to the bottom of the first inning. And we have our Brantford Red Sox cheerleaders down on the field. Very energetic group of young ladies there. They do a great job. We have them here almost every week.
One more time.
So, the batting order then for Brantford. Leading off and DHing, as I mentioned, with a bit of a sore arm, normally playing shortstop, Jacob Cantor. Brody Black batting second, playing in right field. Tim Holick at third base, batting third. Chris Ortega, who had 2 home runs in Kitchener last night in a football score of a game. I'll get into that a little bit later as well. If you haven't heard about last night's game at Couch Park, 23-12 was the final, and rumor has it that the field goal kickers both got fired for missing extra points. But anyways, batting 5 and catching is Andrew Savage. Batting 6, Walker Hutgren, the center fielder. The new guy, Christian Kuzemka, playing in left field. Batting 7, Cassidy Watt, the first baseman. Batting 8, and Lucas Bateman, the shortstop, batting in the 9 hole. Defensively for the Welland Jackfish, in the outfield, bear with me here, folks. You've got Brandon Hooper out at left field, Justin Gideon in center, and the leadoff hitter, Daike Arbe, in right. And then you have Carson Johnson playing third, James Smybert playing short, Jonah Weiser at second base, Logan Grant at first, the All-Star Robert Mullen behind the plate. And pitching tonight for the Welland Jackfish is Eric Pettipies. We're just looking on some information with him. He's not on our sheet that they give us for information, so we're just going to have to do a little bit of digging. We'll get some information on him. First pitch to Jacob Cantor is a strike. That sun's getting a little bit lower. Hopefully we get a couple innings in, maybe get some clouds roll in to keep this game going. Second pitch, swing and a miss. May have swung a ball there, up and out. Pettipies, a left-hander, has a live arm. Slider, changeup, and a good live fastball that breaks away from the right-handed hitter. And a fastball right on the black for a called third strike. And one away.
The right fielder, number 4, Brody Black.
Brody Black's the next hitter up, the right fielder. He has been very hot lately. He has 4 home runs in the league already. The numbers on Pettipies, who they just picked up from the Chatham Barnstormers, who had a 1.35 ERA in Chatham in 4 games and 6 innings. 7 strikeouts in those 6.2 innings, only walked 2 hitters, only 1 earned run. Giving up a couple of runs in his 1 appearance thus far for Welland. Fastball right on the outside part of the plate is 1-1. Pettipies likes to stand on the first base side of the rubber. The 1-1 pitch. A little bit up. Beautiful shirt sleeve evening here in Brantford tonight. The 2-1 pitch. Good swing, fouled off over my right shoulder on the first base side. And it's 2-2. Brody Black will strike out on occasion, but I tell you what, don't make a mistake to this guy. He's got huge power. He can hit it to all fields. We've seen him hit it out of every part of this ballpark over the last couple of years, that's for sure. Pettipies comes set, and the 2-2 pitch. Well outside, and it's 3-2. Mullen is acknowledged as one of the better receivers in this league. And, you know, there's a lot of argument about how important receiving a pitch is, receiving it quietly so that it doesn't look like you're straining to catch the ball. The 3-2 pitch, hit back up the middle, a base hit, and Brody Black is on. Oh. My goodness, we've got, the batter is out. The umpire is calling that the batter was outside of the batter's box when he hit the ball. The home plate umpire was adamant that it was, and he's pointing right at a footprint, which is, he's saying outside of the box. Obviously, Brody Black has a couple of questions for the home plate umpire. I don't think I have ever seen that at this level. Brody Black likes to get to the back of the batter's box, and I'll be honest with you, I can't see. If he's 2 inches outside of the batter's box, I can't see that from my vantage point, but the umpire was adamant. And if you're scoring at home, folks, I don't even know. I got no idea how you're supposed to score that because I've never seen that at this level. The first pitch to Tim Holik is a strike. The Red Sox are happy to have Holik back. He started last season, had a huge May, and then ended up going up to the Pioneer League, and he's back this season. The 0-1 pitch is low and away for ball 1-1-1. Holik had a bit of a slow start, but has come on, and he hit the big home run in Chatham last week. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Came up in the 9th inning, down 4-3, and hit the big 2-run homer that ended up being the winner, 5-4, in a very exciting game on a Sunday afternoon in Chatham. So we've got 2 out, nobody on. Pettipies comes set, the 1-2 pitch on the way. Just outside, they're going to check to see if he swung. He did not. So a 2-2 pitch. Very little wind blowing here. There was wind blowing earlier when the rain fell pre-game, but the wind died right down. There's just a tiny little breeze now. It is a beautiful night for baseball. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and that pitch is up, and we'll go to 3-2. So a good at bat here from Holik. It's interesting to see the mannerisms of Holik when he gets into the batter's box. 3-2 pitch on the way. Hit hard through the hole on the right-hand side. This one will count, and it's a base hit for Holik. Picked up by Houpe, back into the infield, and a 2-out single.
The second, number 21, Chris Ortega.
So Chris Ortega, who was last year's RBI leader in the IBL, who also was off to a bit of a slow start, but has definitely picked it up, had a huge night last night in Kitchener with 2 home runs. It was a heck of a show out at Couch last night, one of the more renowned ballparks for hitting home runs, and the wind, a big wind, was blowing out last night. So 2 out, Holik on first. The pitch to Ortega is in for a strike at the knees. Ortega has huge power, can hit it out of any ballpark, and really one of the nice guys in the league. We had him on the Red Sox report last year. I talked to him fairly regularly before games. 0-1 pitch hit down to the third baseman, throw to second base in time for the 3rd out. And so 1 hit, 1 left, no runs, and we're off to the top of the 2nd inning.
All right, fans, it's now time for our
So a very interesting occurrence there. I just want to circle back to that Black at bat. Sometimes you'll see a hitter step out of the box when he is trying to bunt. Maybe he got a step extra in before he, but you almost never see that play where a fellow is trying to swing the bat and is actually outside of the batter's box when he does make contact. But you can see holes from my vantage point just behind the line of the batter's box on the third base side, which would be the right-handed batter's box. And again, I can't see if he's making any contact to that without. He didn't get a lot of argument out of either Black or the acting manager, Greg Rapp. So at the end of the day, it's good to be back as far as, a lot of guys like to be right back in the back of the box, but you got. If you're going to be that far out, you better make sure you kind of claw out the whole back of the batter's box. A lot of times when you see it at lower levels of baseball, you won't see the whole batter's box being drawn in. And so if there's no batter's box to be drawn in, you can't call someone out of the batter's box. But at this level in pro ball, we're spending the money on the chalk, shall we say. And so he was called for that, and that's a shame because with Holik getting the base hit right afterwards, Unfortunately, there was a potential rally going on there that was killed by the call by the home plate umpire. And in fairness, in his defense to that umpire, he jumped out immediately before the ball was even through the infield to the outfield grass. He was out there with a fist in the air pumping in the out sign. So, Robert Mullen, the catcher, will lead off.
23, Robert Mullen.
An all-star last year. Again, one of the better receivers of the ball. He was leading the league in home runs last year for most of the season until such time he was caught by a couple of fellas, but still hit double-digit home runs. And that may not sound a lot to new people to the league, but 10 home runs in a 42-game schedule, that's pretty impressive. That prorates out to 40 home runs in a major league schedule. First pitch to Mullen is understandably inside off the plate. You don't want to let Mullen get his arms extended, so you want to bust him in, mix it up a little bit. There's another pitch, and swing and a miss for strike one, and a 1-1 count. Good slider there. When Mejia throws strikes, as I mentioned, he can be really tough on hitters. Nice slider again there on the 1-1 pitch, 1-2. For those of you tuning in expecting to see my regular partner, Marshall Crocker, he's okay, folks. Don't you worry about him. He is running the show on the production side of it and doing his level best to get that 6'9" frame blocking out my view of the plate. That pitch is inside off speed, yanked down the line, foul. And, of course, we always love to give Marshall a shout-out, just like he gave me a shout-out working with his buddy Mark Paré on the Kitchener broadcast last night. But don't worry, folks, he'll be back for the next game, ready to go at it. An inside pitch again, and again, pulled foul on the third base side. So we'll do it again on the 1-2 pitch. Maybe busting him in, you might even think you could go at him hard on the outside here, but you got to be careful about extending those arms. Oh my, that was very close. Savage wanted that one. It must have been a little bit up to the umpire's eye because I know it caught part of the plate. So 2-2 now. And an interesting battle going on here. Big power pitcher against a big power hitter. Mejia comes set, 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to third base, picked up by Holick, throws across the field to Cassidy Watt, and there's one away. Nice play there by Holick. Good pitching, good attacking on the inside of the zone by Mejia to not give Mullen a chance to barrel up. Busted him in on pretty much that whole at bat except for the 1-1 pitch when he got him with the outside slider. So there are virtually no breaks in this batting order with Welland. Brandon Hupe is up, the right fielder. Right-handed hitter. Ball just up, 1-0. And comes set and the throw home. Again, busting him inside, fouled off down the third base side, out of play. It's a 1-1 pitch. Getting a steady diet of clouds in here to help with the glare of that sun setting in the western sky. There's a good arrangement of trees in the outfield, outside the outfield fence, 1-1 pitch. Fouled off at the plate. And it's 1-2. So that if the cloud cover can get us down till the sun gets to those trees, we're going to make it through this without a delay. We do love this diamond. If only we had one of those sun block-out dealies, it would be a wonderful diamond to play at all times. 1-2 pitch on the way.
Oh, should be sending.
Hey, can you give me his buddy boy?
And that just up, 2-2.
Bingo, I got it. It's green.
It's green?
His green and purple colors are inverted on it, I guess. But I got it now, so it might have been the box, I guess.
Camera or the table?
And a 2-2 pitch.
That can't be cable then.
Busting him in again, and again fouled down the third base line. That is about 5 or 6 balls that have been fouled down to that side of it in this inning alone. In a lineup that is heavy with left-handed hitters, Mejia is definitely attacking the right-handed hitters inside and making them hit his pitch. And we'll do the 2-2 pitch on again, and here it comes. Oh, and a nice slider there. Got him to chase. Gets the strikeout, and now 2 away for James Smybert, the shortstop.
Number 5, James Smybert.
First strikeout of the night for Mejia. And he's doing a fantastic job this inning of attacking the zone.
But it's the one we just used for the booth.
But no. But there's no way it's cable because now it's working also with that box. Is it HDMI cable maybe?
No, we just used 2 different.
And a fastball just up with the letters.
I don't know.
Actually, just the light.
Smybert is a veteran in this league. He's been around at least 4
Oh, that was
seasons.
fine on the viewfinder.
Plays several positions in the infield for Welland.
Is it a camera?
1-0 pitch is bounced, 2-0.
Last time we had inverted.
Nice block there by Savage.
That was wireless transfer.
Right. Is it like
It's a good tip for you young catchers. It doesn't matter if there's anybody on base. If you're in the habit of blocking pitches in the dirt, you will be better at it, that's for sure.
Is it usable there, Brandon?
So we got a 2-0 count. This is the first batter that Mejia has fallen behind in a few. There's the pitch, and strike at the knees on the inside, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Smybert, left-handed hitter, has a very open stance. Hands high.
Just to see if it's the SDI for some
Real nice take by Smybert there. It was a good slider. That was a strike-to-ball pitch.
I mean, I know how to do that if we want to try that.
No. Oh, we'll go back to that.
3-1
I'm
now.
going to bring this box. Just in case.
And the pitch. Strike 2 called. Smybert thought it was low. Home plate umpire obviously disagreed. So we've got a 3-2 pitch, 2 away. And Mejia trying to get a 1-2-3 inning here. Get back into the dugout and give his team a chance to get a lead. He's having success with that slider. Let's see if he comes back with it. Comes a fastball, hit up the middle, just out of the range of Ortega, and a base hit for Smybert on the 3-2 pitch. Picked up by Hultgren and thrown back in.
First baseman number 10, Logan Grant.
So the first baseman, Logan Grant, comes to the plate with 2 outs. Smybert, not really known as a base stealer, but again, it's Welland, so just about everybody runs on this team. Mejia, that imposing figure, throws hard, got that nice slider. Been doing a pretty good job getting home to the plate against a team that loves to run. We'll see if Smybert goes. Doesn't go. Base hit, ground ball up the middle, picked up by Bateman, throws across, and Watt just hangs on to the base on a bit of an errant throw, but good stretch there by Cassidy Watt. Kept his tippy toes on the base and got the third out. Nice play by Bateman. The ball was hit right up the middle, and they were shading up the middle. Good defense there. And that's 3 out and off to the bottom of the second. So
Red Sox dugout.
1 hit, 1 left, no runs.
All the money from the sale of the lemonade tonight goes directly to
And we will go back to
sports and other summer adventures for young people at CFSGE.
You need to go to a break there, Brandon.
And fans,
Pettipies.
right now, we've got $3 slices of pizza brought to you by our sponsor.
He's a very interesting lefty. I like watching lefties throw, especially ones that throw like him. He throws a lot of off-speed stuff. He does throw pretty hard, but not overpowering.
Red Sox fans, last year the child.
He has a good live fastball. Likes to backdoor the curveball to the right-handed hitters.
Kids, all on summer adventures thanks to the donations through Lemonade.
So the catcher, Andrew Savage, will lead off, and then Walker Hultgren, and the new guy, Christian Kuzemka. We just got notification of them picking him up. I believe they picked him up Wednesday on the 17th. He has played in the league before, but it's been a couple of years. He played in Barrie in 23. Played only 5 games, 17 at-bats. Again, big fella, 6'4", 235, 30 years old, native of Columbia, Illinois. So, being from Illinois, I wonder if he knows Ian Tone, who's a Chicago boy, who has been very helpful in recruiting players to come into this team and help make them competitive. Currently tied for 8th in a 9-team league. Been a bit of a rough stretch for Brantford. They had trouble getting some of their imports up at the start of the year, and they've been really battling a lot of injuries. So the good news is they're still only 3 games out of a playoff spot. So what has happened to this point doesn't matter. It's all that matters is moving forward. Here's Savage. And a pitch goes right to the backstop, outside. Savage has had a fantastic start, spent a little bit of time leading the league in hitting. Over 400, 416 last I checked, and of course everybody got hits last night, so I don't have the up-to-date information directly in front of me, but he has been a very dangerous hitter. The 1-0 pitch is up and is now 2-0. Savage has been seeing the ball really well, taking tough pitches, getting deep into counts, barreling up, and has even thrown in some power. He's got a couple of home runs as well. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Pettipies. Again up. Very consistent strike zone at the top there. Both pitchers are trying to buy strikes at the top, but the umpire is having nothing of it. Savage, 3-0. Taking all the way, 3-1. 3 home runs actually, and he's still batting 17. So when you can show and hit for a high average, that's some good hitting, folks. So we got a 3-1 pitch. He's got to be sitting dead red here. Pitch low and in, and a 5-pitch walk to lead off for Savage. Walker Hultgren, also a big fella, 6'4", 225 pounds. Played college ball with Ian Tone, D1 from South Dakota. And so with a runner on first and nobody out, we got a lefty-lefty matchup. He's got a nice-looking left-handed swing. Fouls it off to the left-hand side, third base side, off the post and into the crowd. So Pettipies is what you might call sneaky quick. He can really get it by you. As the old saying goes, he can sneak a steak past a hungry dog. 1-0 pitch is well outside. Nice job by Mullen to grab that one. Played go-go gadget arms with the glove hand there and picked that one up. 1-1 pitch. Fairly conservative lead at first from Savage. Again, he is a catcher. He runs well for a catcher, which is and a base hit up the middle by Hultgren. Squeezed it through. They were playing him up the middle for the double play depth, but he managed to hit a hard line drive right through the box and got it out to center field. And now you've got 2 on and nobody out. And here comes the new hitter,
left fielder number 26,
Christian Kuzemka. So an interesting debut where you've got 2 on and nobody out in a clear bunting situation, but you kind of feel like maybe they won't bunt him. So we're going to keep an eye on the defense here. Grant in at first base to the grass. Third baseman back. And a strike thrown to Kazemka. The bunt is certainly there to work, but I imagine with his first at bat, they'd like to see him swing away. And fouled off first base side and out of play. 0-2 on the newest Brantford Red Sox player. Savage at second. Holtgren at first. Holtgren a very conservative leadoff with nobody holding him on. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. And it's hit, rocked out to right field, and it's deep, and it is off the wall. Picked up, and runner comes around third, and he will score. They're going to send both runners. We're going to have a play at the plate, and Holtgren is out, not real close. An unfortunate send on the second player there with nobody out. They probably didn't need to send him. Heck of a shot there by Kuzemka. Rocket out to right field over the outfielder's head, short off the fence. Everybody had to wait to see if it was caught. So Savage scores easily from second. But Holtgren tries to score from first base and was thrown out by a good 10 feet. An unfortunate send with nobody out. I like the aggressiveness, but in the end it didn't quite work out. So now you've got Cassidy Watt up with 1 out. And I tell you what, Brantford scoring the first run. I think that's the first time in 4 games against this team that Brantford scored the first run of the ball game. Here's the pitch. Well outside, and that gets away from Mullen, and that runner moves up to third base. So an important 90 feet there with only 1 out, now a fly ball. Will score him, and also brings the infield in. Everybody on the grass now. Seems a little early to do that, but Welland play very good defense. 1 ball pitch. Grounder fouled on the first base side off the fence, and the count's 1-1. Outfield, center field playing just to pull for Watt, and the pitch is inside. Ball 2, 2-1. The right fielder Hupe very, very deep. But Cassidy Watt has a lot of power. And a base hit. Beautiful diving stab over to first base and gets the out. What a play at third base by Carson Johnson. Oh my, diving stop. I hope we got that one, because that put a star beside that one. That was a beautiful, beautiful play to save a run.
Lucas Bateman.
So now to the number 9 hitter, Lucas Bateman, the shortstop. Infield back now with 2 out. The Red Sox are looking for some clutch hitting here to get that second run in. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Brantford hitters in the first time around have barreled Pettipiece up 4 times at least, which is an encouraging sign moving forward, that's for sure. Pettipiece comes set, 0-1 pitch. Down and in, ball 1. Bateman has struggled a little bit to start the season. We know he can hit. We remember him from last year. He played mostly second base, with Cantor having the sore arm. He moves over to shortstop and has given them yeoman's work at shortstop for the last few games. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball just up at the top of the zone. 1-2 pitch. Bakeman calls time. So you have to wonder if Pettipiece will climb the ladder here and try and get a ball up over the bat with a 1-2 pitch. Comes set. Here it comes. Fouled off, straight back, over top of us. And we'll do it again. Sun is back out now. It really is a very nice evening here in Brantford. Hopefully we can get a little more cloud cover and get that sun behind the trees and continue playing here. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Struck hard into center field. And it is down and to the wall, and it's extra bases for Bateman. Stops in at second base in a clutch 2-out double for Lucas Bateman, and it's an RBI. Well, I tell you what, that's going to feel good for Lucas Bateman, who's really struggled at the start of this season. But that's another bail up by the Brantford hitters here. They're really getting on Pettipiece the first time around. And so now what you got is another runner in scoring position. And we'll see if Jacob Cantor can clutch up just like Bateman did. Big hack there at the first pitch. Pitch right on the outside part of the plate. Tried to yank it though. Tough to hit that pitch to the left side. Pettipiece seems to have moved even more over to forward first base. And that pitch is up. Here we go. And it's 1-1. Struggling start so far for Pettipiece, who is getting hit pretty hard here. We'll see if Cantor, who has had a very good start to the season, and the pitch is in. Cantor tends to get hit by pitches. He loves to be right on top of the plate there. He wears that elbow pad, and I've seen him get hit in that elbow pad at least 3 times already this year. Two-one pitch. Good take there, and a pitch just above the zone. 3-1. The dangerous Brody Black is on deck. Three-one count now. You got to think he'll try and go right at Cantor, sitting dead red fastball, you would think. There's the pitch, and he lays off it. They check, and they say no swing, so a walk to Cantor. And Brody Black, who last time up hit the ball hard up the middle for what would have been a base hit, but we're going to make sure that he will make sure that wherever he digs in is inside that batter's box, that's for sure. So 2 out, Bateman on second, Cantor on first. Comes set, and the pitch. Well outside, another nice play by Mullen to flag that down. He's getting his money's worth in this inning, that's for sure. The 1-0 pitch. Again, well outside. He's thrown a lot of pitches this inning. You almost think if he doesn't get this hitter out, you'd think that Welland would do well to just maybe go out and have a visit with him and just give him a bit of a rest. He is showing signs of fatigue. It's a lot of pitches he's thrown in this half inning. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Well inside for 3-0. And you're in a red light district here because the very dangerous Tim Hoek is up on deck, and if you walk him, you've got bases loaded. And Hoek could really do some damage here. 3-0 pitch. I wondered if he might have the green light there. That was a fairly good pitch, but taking all the way was Black. 3-1 count. He can afford to be selective here. If he doesn't like the pitch, he can take another strike. Then he'll get the runners going at 3-2. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung and fouled straight back. So as I mentioned, 3-2, 2 out, the bases will be running. Infield will have to throw across on a ground ball. Brody Black, big power. Hit the ball hard last time. Pettipiece needs a strike here. And here it comes. Ball 4 outside. And you would think a visit to the mound is in the offing, and sure enough, right on cue. That's 3 walks this inning.
Marshall's just left, so he might be coming down to you, okay?
Copy.
We had no problems with it until today. Like, I don't know what the difference is.
They're going to end up in the bullpen early if they keep this up, and so good on Brantford, who have strung together a bunch of quality at-bats. The real clutch at-bat in this inning, obviously, is the Lucas Bateman hit. 2 out and a runner on third that they could have scored earlier on, but comes up with the clutch hit all the way to the wall. And so now you're looking, if you're a Brantford fan anyway, for the big guy, the 3-hitter, Tim Holick, to break this game open. And when you're playing the Welland Jackfish, 2 is not enough. So an opportunity here. You've got a pitcher on the ropes.
Okay, Brandon's gonna start trying stuff. Keep checking for me.
You've got a quality hitter at the plate, and an opportunity to do some damage. Here we go. First pitch. Caught the inside part of the plate. Strike 1.
Coming now.
Still the green feed. Well, I can see the major screen you're using, by the way. I'm staring at it.
Again, those mannerisms of Holick, it's just something that gets him in the right frame of mind for when the pitch comes in. The 0-1 pitch.
Yeah.
A nice slider there that busted in at the last minute. Very, very, very good pitch there. And he's got Holick 0-2 now, and he's got him on the defensive.
Back in settings, now you're moving over, now you're, and again, and now you're down to MP4 resolution.
I'm gonna turn the volume down on this.
So now if you're Holick,
No, he's all having.
just put the ball in play, put some pressure on the defense. There's a ground ball down the third base line, perfectly fielded by Johnson, who was able to catch it, take 2 steps and step on the bag, and the inning is over. So 3 hits, 2 runs, and 3 left on base, and it's now 2-0 after 2 innings, and we are going to go to a 90-second commercial break here, and we'll be right back after these brief messages. And welcome back, folks. It's the top of the 3rd inning. 2-0 Brantford leads over the visiting Welland Jackfish. And we've been working on just a little bit of audio scratchiness. Hopefully we're okay there, folks. Trying to stay in the green here. Pardon me if I'm getting a little bit excited. It's a loud building here. It's a lot of fun. We've got the Brantford Red Sox cheerleaders out on the field again. They're doing a fantastic job working the crowd up. A decent crowd here tonight.
We technically are at 10.
And of course, the Welland Jackfish always, their fans always travel well.
Why have we never?
So we go to the 9th spot in the order. Carson Johnson, the third baseman, who made the stellar play in the in the bottom of the second inning. Excuse me. If he doesn't, you think back now. If he doesn't make that diving stop, that's another run in, one less out, and you're probably looking at 3 or 4 runs coming in. And Mejia throws the first pitch of the top of the third in for a strike.
You probably got to turn on display to see what that's doing.
Sorry, how do you do that? Right here?
Comes set, and pitch number 2 is also a strike. Nice slider there, 0-2 to Johnson.
That's my current.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, and it got him. Nothing more frustrating for a pitcher to have a guy 0-2. Throw one in tight, and the guy just kind of turns into it. I don't want to say he stepped into it because that's not what happened. He turned into it, and that's exactly how you should react to a pitch. So, again, in this inning, the leadoff hitter is on. We go back to the top of the order, Arbe, who drew a walk in the first inning. Hits the first pitch on a rope directly to center field. Nice catch there by Hultgren. And there's one away. It just carried enough so Hultgren could get underneath it. Did a little knee slide and got his glove underneath the baseball. And there's one out. Okay, I think we got our audio issues figured out here, folks. We got one out. Johnson's still at first base. And the first pitch to Jonah Weisner is low and away. Weisner led the league in hitting last year. In hits last year anyways. And a very dangerous hitter at the plate. You can do hit and run with a guy like Weisner. Nice pitch there for a strike, 1-1. Holy in a bit at third, not right on the grass, but even with the base.
Yeah.
So
Weisner can lay a bunt down, but the guy who gets as many hits as he does, throw over to first.
I'll come with you. I'm doing no good.
Just checking in with Johnson. One and one pitch, one out. Runner goes, pitch in, and safe at second base. Now we had a check swing, and home plate umpire calls it a swing, and the home plate umpire will do that a lot on a stolen base because the base umpire who would be asked of the swing is busy running to second base to catch a stolen base call. So he took the initiative, called it a swing. Now 1-2 to Weisner. He's hitting .432 this year. Comes set, comes home, busts him in. Nice pitch there. Fouled down the first base line. Got Weisner with a ground ball to short last time up. Again, he hit up, and in fairness, Arbe had just stolen second base, and Bateman was playing virtually the identical spot that he's playing now, right behind. Maybe you can't see him directly on your screen, but he is just off to your right on the screen, Bateman is, who's going to be just about even with the base runner as we speak. There you get a look how they're just right one behind the other, and that's where Weisner hit the ball last time. And a pitch, and the ball is fouled off third base side out of play. Count remains at 1-2. So, Good hard fastball here to tie up Wisner. Might be a good pitch in this particular situation. Big turn, throws it up a little high. It was an interesting windup from Mejia, who turned his back full Louis Tion style to the hitter, having a good look at the runner at second base. But the pitch was up, 2-2 now. Mejia comes set, and they go home, and the ball is hit up into the air. Can of corn for the center fielder, Hultgren. Runner is tagging, but with the fly ball to the third base side, I'm not sure tagging up was in his best advantage there. Sometimes when the ball goes to that part of the field, sometimes you just kind of edge off the base 15 or 20 feet in case the ball is dropped or misjudged, and then that gives you an opportunity to go to third. Nonetheless, do a great job getting Jonah Wisner 0-2, that's for sure. A fly ball to center field. We got 2 out. Runner still at second base. And now you've got Ethan Mann, the designated hitter. Mann walked last time and was doubled off first on the line drive by Gideon. Good start there for Mejia. Swing and a miss, strike one. Excuse me. So 2 outs now. Brantford outfield playing man straight away. Oh, another nice slider there. Gets the strike to ball slider. Oh, 2 pitch now. Chance to get out of the inning and get back into the dugout. The windup, the pitch. Ground ball down third base side. Picked up cleanly by Holik. Steps, fires over to first, and gets the third out. And that is a very good inning by Mejia, who is in control at this point. After a bit of a rough start, he got that double play. And now we go to the bottom of the third inning, with the Brantford Red Sox leading 2-0. Another busy Friday night in the league. Kitchener Panthers are in London tonight, and they are already tied at 5. You'd think it was at Jack Couch, but no, it's actually in London in the bottom of third. London and Kitchener are tied 5-5. Up at Christie Pitts, the red-hot Barry Baycats are up 4-1 on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's still in the bottom of the second inning. And the Guelph Royals, winners of, I think, 4 straight, is that right, 4 straight, are losing 2-0 to the Hamilton Cardinals. So Pettipies back out for his third inning of work. You wonder how long they're going to go with him if he gets into a bunch of trouble. In this inning here, he was saved by a beautiful play by Johnson down at third base. So we get to the bottom of the third, and leading off the third for the Brantford Red Sox is Chris Ortega. And he grounded out to third base and got the force play at second to end the first inning. Ortega, big powerful dude, again led the league in RBIs last season, an all-star. Big swing there, jumped all over the first pitch.
Any difference?
Pettipies comes set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Got him off on his front foot. Lazy fly ball. Center fielder coming in hard to get it, and he makes the grab. Very nice play there by Justin Gideon. Again, that's not the normal center fielder. Normally it's Gio Morello out there, one of the best center fielders in this league. But Justin Gideon is a pretty good ball player in his own right. So 1 out now for the hot-hitting Andrew Savage. Again, hitting .417. fence. It looks like we're going to be okay with this sun. It's starting to hide behind the trees now. You can see the shade on the field. 0-1 pitch, hit out into right field. It's deep, but camping underneath it is the right fielder, Brandon Hupe, and it is the second out for Savage. So a nice job by Pettipies to settle in there after a rough second inning, getting the first two guys in the third inning. And this is where the lineup started to hit him pretty hard. Hultgren hit a rocket up the middle in his first at bat last inning. Left on left matchup. Swing and a shot into center field. It's a long run for Gideon. Back toward the wall. And a nice catch there by Gideon in left center field, for the third out. So quite the bounce back inning. You got a fly balls to center field and right field and center field. And that is the end of the third inning. And it is now 2-0 after 3 innings in Brantford. So again, just to give you an update there, that sun is sneaking behind the trees now, and it looks like we're going to get through without a delay, which is wonderful news for everybody involved.
Fundraiser of the night. This fundraiser was made possible by the generous support of
And we are going to take a 60-second break, and we will be right back after these most important messages. Hang on.
Leading off the floor for the Jackfish is the fielder number 1, Justin Gideon.
And welcome back to the top of the fourth inning. First pitch to Justin Gideon is up, but swung at. Justin Gideon, Robert Mullen, Brandon Hupe due up for the Jackfish. The 0-1 pitch just caught the outside corner. Justin Gideon disagrees, but it is 0-2 nonetheless. And here comes set. Very dangerous hitter, Justin Gideon. Even with 2 strikes, still very dangerous hitter. The pitch, just up and out, and it counts 1-2. The field almost completely in the shade now. 1-2 pitch. Slider, missed it arm side, just got a little quick there, and the arm fell behind. So 2-2 now. Long pause and the pitch. And ripped down the first base line, foul out of play. So just got to check with our scorebook. It says 3-1, but I believe it's 2-2. First pitch was swung at. I know there are 2 strikes. And a pitch. And ripped out to right field. Brody Black going after it. And again, a line drive hit hard to get to Brody Black by Justin Gideon. Gideon's got to think he's a little bit gooched tonight. He's got 2 hard line drives, both right at the right fielder, and he's got nothing to show for it. So the big man, Robert Mullen, the all-star catcher for the Jackfish, batting in the 5 spot for Welland. 1 out now. Mejia cruising along very nicely here. And a pitch. Overthrown just a little bit. Pulled it glove side. And it's ball 1. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, when Leandro Mejia throws strikes consistently, he is very, very tough to hit. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Busted him inside again and yanked down the third base line, and got the bullpen bailing there. He scared a bunch of them out of their seats. And they've got a few words for Robert saying, "We're out of play now. Don't hit it at us, man. We're the bullpen." So it's 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. Mejia comes set, and the go home. A little bit off speed, but stayed back nicely and just served it up into left field. And it's a 1-out single for Robert Mullen. And the right fielder, Brandon Hoope, comes up. A native of North Delta, British Columbia, 6'3", 205 pounds, 26 years old, or about to turn 26, as he has a birthday on the 24th. So you Welland Jackfish fans are tuning in. Make sure you check in with Brandon on the 24th because it's his birthday. First pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Mullen with a conservative lead. I have seen him run, although we don't expect Mullen to run. And the 1-0 pitch took something off it, pulled the string, as they say, and Hoope was way out in front of it and nubbed it over toward the first base dugout, 1-1. You really got to love when Mejia adds different speeds to that slider of his. He's got a good hard slider that it can go strike to ball. He can take something off it and get you out on your front foot. 1-1 pitch. Runner does not go. Ground ball to shortstop. Taylor made to second for 1 and looped to first base. It might have slipped out of the hand of Ortega there. He was unable to get on top of the baseball. Otherwise, they'd have turned a double play there. But they get the lead runner. And now there is 2 out. Hoope is a tough guy to double off. Nice play by Bateman. Got it right to the second baseman, but Ortega was just back off his back foot there, unable to get on top of the baseball. And couldn't get much momentum. So now with 2 out, you might see Hoope run here. Here is Smybert, the shortstop. Busted inside, got out of the way. So the fielder's choice for Hoope. 0 for 2 now with a strikeout. Smybert had a base hit last time up. Base hit up the middle to the first base side of second base. Long pause here for Mejia. Takes a look. Looks again. Comes home. Ball in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Savage. Great bounce to get on top of it and didn't allow Hoope a chance to get off to second base and get into the scoring position. So 2-0 now. Quick throw over. Just checking in with Hoope. Two-0 pitch. Come set. And the delivery. Low, 3-0. Smybird is from Mississauga. He's a big guy, 6'3", 215 pounds. Just turned 30. Three-0 pitch. We'll see if he swings at it. Didn't matter if he was interested in swinging at the 3-0 pitch. It was another ball. So a 4-pitch walk. 2 out now, and the 8-hitter Logan Grant is up. And acting manager and also pitching coach Greg Rapp out to have a visit with Mejia. You've got a little bit of action going on in that Brantford bullpen. Again, Mejia is not a fully stretched out starting pitcher, so I don't know if they're expecting him to throw 80 or 90 pitches and get into the 6th or 7th inning. Not to mention that this is a club in Welland that makes you work for every out. They go deep into a lot of counts and really are very good at driving up the pitch count. So Rapp just getting things squared away with Mejia there. Mejia has been very good today. That is only the 3rd walk of the game. And no one has really barreled him up. There's been a couple of base hits, a couple of, stingers on the ground, but nobody, other than the 2 Gideon line drives right at Black, no one has really really hammered him. So they will not hold the runner on first. Cassidy Watt will play back at first with the left-handed hitter up, playing deep. So a pretty significant situation here in the 4th inning. Trying to get out of this 4th with Grant. Nice start there with the tailing fastball. Gets ahead. And as the old saying goes from the pitcher's mound, get ahead, stay ahead. That's the key to success. So a first pitch strike. And Mejia looking right in, looking all business right now, trying to get out of this inning. Pitch number 2 is just a little bit low, and it's 1-1. So as I mentioned earlier, Mejia is not fully stretched out, so you're probably going to see some action in the bullpen. And right on cue, it looks like Halden Craig, who is getting loose. Here's the pitch, fly ball. Black settling under it and makes the catch for the 3rd out. And it's a can of corn. So at the end of 3.5, still 2-0 for Brantford. And Leandro Mejia pitching a beauty thus far. And we will go to the bottom of the 4th inning. And it looks like Pettipice will come out for the 4th inning. He should have lots of gas left. He had that rough 2nd inning, but he didn't. He just got touched up for a couple of runs, but then came out and got 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd inning. And now he'll face the bottom 3 in the order in Kuzemka, Cassidy Watt, and Lucas Bateman. So the Brantford batting order is statistically not in the top of the league in a lot of categories, but again, a lot of injuries. Holik missed a couple of weeks. Cantor has missed some time. Ian Tone is currently missing some time. He's out of the lineup tonight. He's just picking up more good players. Ian Tone actually had a great start to his career. Batted almost 350 for the first 3 weeks of the season. Another solid left-handed bat. And that's, they could put that whole outfield out there. Brody Black, they've got 4 good outfielders now with the pickup of Kuzemka. And so that adds length to your batting order. And so now when you look at Holik, who had the slow start, who is getting going, Ortega, who had the slow start, is getting going again. Cassidy Watt is a solid hitter, probably as good an 8-hole hitter as you're going to find in this league. He's used to batting a little bit higher up in the order. And Kuzemka, of course, his initiation to the CBL was a rocket double to the fence that scored Savage and then ended up getting Hultgren picked off at the plate. He hit that rocket out to right field that short hopped the wall. So he comes up with his second career at bat. We'll see how he does in this particular situation where it's a nice situation for a guy who's starting up, getting to face a lefty if you're a right-handed hitter. Again, big guy, 6'4", lots of pop in the bat, good swing. There's the first pitch, and it's just a little bit low. Pettipies has been in the league a couple years. Again, they just picked him up from Chatham last week. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. Again, Pettipies will not overpower you. He can throw a good fastball, and he's just a kind of your standard lefty where, you know, he throws a nice curveball, good off-speed pitches. There's the changeup, gets him off the end of the bat, and a line drive right to Smybert at short for the first out. Very good changeup there to get Kazemka off his front foot, and he did a good job of leveling out and hitting it on a rope, but he hit it right at Smybert. And easy play for Smybert to go to a knee and take that line drive. So here's Cassidy Watt, who was right on that first pitch, fouled it straight back. Watt grunted out to third base last time. Remember, that was that beautiful play by Johnson at third base. Pitch in the dirt, gets through the wickets of Mullen. And just a beautiful play by Johnson, diving stab while in on the grass. And the grass was probably still a little damp from the rain we got prior to the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside fastball fouled off straight back. 1-2 to Cassidy Watt. I've had a couple of great conversations with Cassidy Watt. He's a great chat. Really nice guy, articulate, loves the game of baseball, and he's a leader in that clubhouse. 1-2 pitch. Gets him with the off speed, comes back. We'll see if it can get out of the zone, and it just got to the fence, and unfortunately Mullen was unable to catch it. Tough play there for the catcher where he's on a dead run to the backstop trying to catch that, and it landed right at the base of the fence. So he definitely would have had to smash into the fence to make that catch. So really difficult play there. New life for Cassidy Watt. They're really going with the soft stuff on Cassidy. We'll see if he can stay back on an off-speed pitch here, or whether they're going to change it up and go with a fastball now that they got the bat slowed down. Here it comes. It's a fastball, lined into right center field, and beautiful sliding catch again by the right fielder, Brandon Hoope. Man, we're seeing some really good defense tonight, folks. I thought that ball was down, but he slid at the last minute, got a glove underneath it. Beautiful play. Now we've got 2 down for the 9-hitter, the shortstop, Lucas Bakeman. So that's, I think, 3 sliding catches now for the outfielders, putting on a clinic out there. That's why we love the CBL, folks. Play some D. D up. That ball is a little bit in and a little bit down, and it's ball 1 to Bateman, who had a clutch 2-out RBI double in his first at bat. Jacked one to the wall in left center. Takes again. Ball's in the dirt. 2-0. Jacob Cantor on deck at the top of the order. You sure like to see Bateman hitting. Again, he had the slow start, but he's starting to pick it up now. Here's the pitch. Ooh, big cut there. Swung right through it, though. 2-1. It's important to stay back against a pitcher like Pettipies because, again, he's not throwing at 96. He's going to mix up his speeds. He's going to backdoor you. He's going to make things move. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Up and out. Now 3-1. Good patience shown by Bateman. Three-one pitch. Here it comes. Just at the bottom of the zone there. Bateman disagrees, but that pitch has been there all night. 3-2 now with 2 outs on the shortstop Bateman. Not only has Bateman got the RBI double, but he's also made a couple of very nice plays in the field so far. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. A swing and a foul back. Out of play behind us. And we'll do it again. So we're going to have a guest in the 5th inning. Aiden Armitage is going to come up and join us. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ripped to left field. Will it get down? Yes, it does. A nice base hit for Lucas Bateman. Boy, howdy, you like to see him warming up. So a 2-out single for the shortstop Bateman. Back to the top of the order. Jacob Cantor, who is the straw that stirs the drink in this batting order. So far has a strikeout and a walk. Yet to put the ball in play, but he's a very patient hitter. We remember when he first started, he jumped after a lot of first pitches, but he's become a very, very patient hitter. Takes the ball in for ball 1. Bateman, not a big lead out there at first. You wonder if they'll put a play on. The Red Sox are last in the league at stolen bases. And a rip down to short, which is again right at Smybert. So a little bit of bad luck for the Brantford hitters in that inning where they hit 2 solid line drives, but right at the shortstop. And we are going to bring in a guest, Aiden Armitage, pitcher for the Red Sox, who will be here at some point shortly. And we're just going to take a 60-second break and get Aiden situated here, and we'll be right back on the other end of these commercials. He's keen to come up, but he needs a minute. So we will carry on with the top of the 5th inning. Leandro Mejia throwing a peach here so far through 4 innings. And he will face...
Leading out the 5th for the Jackfish, the 3rd baseman, number 13, Carson Johnson.
Carson Johnson, who walked his first time up. And then was forced out on a ground ball by Weisner in the 2nd inning. Just heading to dusk now. This is the time of night where it gets a little difficult to see pop flies and whatever. There's the first pitch of the inning, a nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. Swung and a miss, and it's strike 1. Johnson, of course, made that sparkling play earlier in the 2nd inning. Diving play to his left. Here's the 0-1 pitch right on the corner. Nice pitch, strike 2.
Tell you what, there's some fire coming out of that Brantford dugout. They're starting to smell it. They've been beat up pretty good by this team the first 3 times, and you could tell they're hungry to give a competitive game to these Welland Jackfish. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Pop fly out to right field. Camped underneath it is Brody Black. Makes the catch, and we have one away. Back to the top of the order now. Daike Arbe walked his first time up and then hit a line drive to center field, and a nice catch made by Walker Hultgren. And so, as advertised, we bring in one of our favorite players on the game, pitcher Aiden Armitage. Aiden, ground ball to second base, picked up by Ortega, throws it over to first, scooped up nicely by Watt, and there's 2 away. And already, good luck, Aiden is in the house. Well, Aiden, welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Well, it's our pleasure. So what are you seeing so far? Leandro Mejia throwing you guys a peach so far. What are you seeing out of Leandro?
I think the big thing is he's just filling up the zone. He's attacking, and with Welland, he's limiting the run game. I think with games past, Welland has a lot of stolen bases against us, and so this game, our game plan's really been come in and limit that and just see what we can do from there.
Fair enough. So we got Jonah Weisner, a dangerous hitter up here. 2 out, nobody on, which is a good time to have Jonah Weisner up, quite frankly. And Mejia has walked 3, but by and large, he's been filling the zone up pretty good, hasn't he?
Yep. Even though he's had a couple walks on the day, he's done a really good job of just attacking regardless and making pitch after pitch and competing in the zone, even with some mistakes.
Fair enough. 0-1 pitch and a bunt.
Spin and throw, Sav. Come on.
Out jumps Savage. And gets him. A nice play there by Andrew Savage. Jumps out of the box and throws out Jonah Weisner at first base. Weisner doesn't like the call, but hey, he looked out from here, right?
Yeah, looked out from here.
Fair enough. Aiden, what's up with you now? So how's the body feeling, and how are you doing so far this year?
Body's not feeling too great. I got hit by a line drive last week, so I'm dealing with a little bit of concussion, so I'll be out until July. And then outside of that, I've been dealing with some health issues, so kind of working through that to get myself going for this first CBL season. But past that, the arm's feeling pretty good. I feel in shape, and hopefully once I'm back from the concussion, I can get rolling and get our team kind of making that push for the playoffs as we get going into July.
Fair enough. Yeah, I have a son who dealt with concussion issues as well when he was playing his sports, and that's not something you mess around with, right? That's stuff that can affect you for a while, so good to take some time off and get the body healed up. But it must be frustrating for you, with a sort of a short baseball season in this country. It must be tough for you to watch the guys and not be able to help out.
Oh, 100%. It's definitely tough not being able to go out there, compete, do my job, and just be a real part of the team. So dressing, putting on pants, just being around the cage, and even though I'm not technically allowed to be on the playing field itself, just during pregame and keeping a semblance of normalness has been really nice.
Fair enough. So a Waterloo native.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the folks about your story. You went through, where'd you go to college? And
I went to the University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's an NAIA school. Shout out to the Cougars, and shout out to Coach Butcher as well. I honestly didn't have that great of a career there. I was kind of like a low leverage arm. I would throw on occasion. I worked really hard, so I had respect from the coaches. But really, I got my real opportunity to pitch here in Brantford in 2023. There was a game in Barrie where we had a blow-up start. They turned to me. I ended up giving us like 4 innings. We won 20-15 in a crazy shootout game. And I kind of just started rolling from there in kind of high leverage bullpen situations and kept kind of building up. And then a couple years later, I played OUA ball with the Waterloo Warriors. I'm doing my Master's of Science there. Pitched a couple seasons there and made an all-star game in this IBL at the time, in the meantime, and now we're here.
Nice. So we're off to the bottom of the 5th inning. Brody Black is at the plate now. Brody has a unique out in his first at bat where he was judged to be out of the back of the batter's box when he hit a base hit up the middle, and then he walked in the second inning as well. Yeah, so he's up for his 3rd at bat already in the 5th inning. First pitch is a ball. Here's the pitch from Pettipies, also up and out. Now, what I've heard about Brody Black is that he's a bit of an odd duck. He's a fun guy to have around, but you just never know what you're going to get from Brody. How would you attest to that?
I would say that's pretty spot on. Me and Brody have a ritual. We started about a week and a half ago.
3-0 pitch.
Where he just comes to my room in the dorms and we just play MLB The Show. It works his vision, it works his pitch selection. As you see, he's in a 3-0 count. He walked last time. He started to hit home runs. He's starting to find, the barrel on singles and keep things simple, and also getting the big swing as well. But
3-0 pitch in for a strike. Brody taking all the way. Now, he is a good ball player, and I know he got off to a rough start, but he can really hit for the power, can't he?
yeah, absolutely. He's got a ton of power. I actually kind of helped bring him in last season. But before the season, I saw an MLB Draft League post just saying that, I think we have something with Pettipiece.
Yeah, I think not sure what's going on here, but they're calling for the trainer.
Shoot.
Did you see anything there at all?
I didn't see anything, but I know Eric. We played in college in the same conference together. He has had an elbow injury before, so I think it's something that if he feels something, he's going to let someone know. Yeah, trainer's coming out now.
Well, they're going to the bullpen right away, aren't they? They're going to get a new guy out there, and that's unfortunate for Eric Pettipiece.
Yeah, no,
who got touched up in the second inning, but otherwise has thrown very well tonight.
Yeah, he put together a really good game outside of that second. He worked around it really well. Honestly, it's a classic Eric Pettipiece outing.
Absolutely. So we're going to have to bring in a new reliever here, and I don't think they had anybody in the bullpen warming up, so it's going to be a bit of a delay here. So we'll take a bit of a break here. It's going to be a couple of minutes, and so they're going to bring in a guy. He's got to get warm from cold, so it'll be probably 3 or 4 minutes, but we'll take a 60-second break, and we'll see you back on the other side. The Jackfish, 6'3", 205 pound, 24 years old, just turned 24 on May the 30th. Another BC boy, New Westminster. We were talking off air, Aiden. How many BC boys do we think are in this league? It just seems like we're inundated with them. You mentioned you thought there was almost as many BC boys as Ontario boys in this league.
Yeah, I definitely think so. With the level of talent of baseball out there and the amount of BC guys that we have on our team compared to Ontario guys, I wouldn't be shocked if there's just as many BC guys as there are Ontario guys.
Well, yeah, and of course the UBC is a great program as well. They got a lot of good ball players out there on top of that. So, again, Seward is going to need a couple of minutes because he's going right from cold. And so where we are right now is a 3-1 count to Brody Black with nobody out. And so for the team then, it's been a bit of a rough stretch for you fellas. Strangely, for a 3-8 record, there's some nice highlights already. The big home run in Chatham by Holick and the big win last week here. So where would you, considering the amount of injuries that you're dealing with yourself, and of course Jacob's having trouble throwing, and Holick's missed a couple of games, Ortega missed a couple of weeks early on, give us an assessment of where you think your team is. And I know that you would say your team is better than its record. So tell everybody at home why you believe your team is better than its record.
Honestly, I think we're a playoff team when it comes down to it. We have a good offense. As you guys saw last night, we could score 14 runs, and it was a rough day for the pitching staff, no doubt, but we also booted the ball around a little bit. We didn't make some routine plays, and we let some wind balls drop too. If we can clean up some of the small things, essentially the free bases that we're giving up, we are a middle of the pack, if not better team. As you see tonight, we're competing against Welland. We're playing clean baseball. You know, injury takes their starter out, but their starter wasn't going to get through 6 regardless. And we're putting together good team at bats. We're playing good, clean defense. We're communicating well, and we're playing good baseball. When we play good baseball, we are a top end team. I think what needs to happen now is guys just need to continue to gel together, continue to get more and more comfortable, and as that happens, so maybe make a few more good additions with Canadians as we have a few open roster spots. This roster is really going to come together once those injuries pan out. We can get Jacob at shortstop, Tim and Chris back full go, and myself back on the mound feeling ready to go and pitch.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree wholeheartedly. Marshall and I have talked on previous broadcasts about when this team plays good baseball, they just need to lock up a few things, a few less walks, try and keep the stolen bases down to a minimum, good clutch hitting, good fundamental, productive outs, that type of thing. It's the little things that win baseball games, right?
Exactly.
And so the talent is there. So the fielders are heading back to their position now. It looks like Seward is almost ready. So again, we'll reiterate. Looks like he's good to go. So we're in the the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 2-0 lead for Brantford. Brody Black, the right fielder, who has made a couple of nice plays already out in right field, especially Justin Gideon line drives, is up. He went to a 3-0 count. The last pitch that Pettipies threw was a strike, but it was something went in his, what we can only speculate, his arm. And here comes the 3-1 pitch from Seward. He throws considerably harder, but that ball is up, and so Brady Black draws a leadoff walk. So let's talk about Tim Holy. He was here for about a month last year, lit it up, went off to play in another league, but you got him back now. So what does that mean to this team to have that kind of an anchor, that kind of a talented back?
Yeah, it's great to have Tim back on the team. I mean, last year in the month that he was with us, he was a really good presence to have. And even as a pitcher, you can learn a lot about somebody who just carries themselves as a professional. You kind of learn how to take things and go about things the right way. And then I think
and a shot down to the left side and through a diving Johnson, and it's a base hit for Holick.
And so with that presence kind of back in our lineup and back in our clubhouse, it's good to have because it keeps guys, level-headed. It keeps guys even keel. And it also just keeps us moving in a singular direction, which is just get better each day.
And, of course, we got to know Tim really well in the Brantford Red Sox report a couple of weeks ago. It just came out. Very technical guy, very mechanically solid fella. Really loves to look at the mechanics of things. So now we've got 2 on. We got Black at second, Holick at first. And Christian Ortega, last year's RBI leader at the plate. This is an exact situation that Brantford really likes here. And Seward is up against it right away coming into this game with nobody out. And here comes the pitch. Pitch is outside for ball 1. So last year Ortega was league leader in RBIs. Had a bit of a slow start now, but we sure see him coming along now, don't we?
Oh, yeah. 2 home runs last game. That was awesome to see. He's just really hitting the ball hard. And I think one of the things is he's been working with Tim really hard in the cages.
Fouled out a play.
And that's kind of started to really show up in the games is that, as you see, the 2 guys on base and then the guy hitting, they put in a ton of work in the cages and on our off days and really kind of attack what they're, not doing well and then continue to work on what they're doing well as well.
Fair enough. So a 1-1 pitch here to Ortega. Runners lead away. Pulled glove side again for a 2-1 count. So Seward kind of looks like he's really trying to gas him in there. He knows he's up against a dangerous hitter there. Might be overthrowing just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a situation you come into like this as a pitcher. You're thinking, okay, I'm coming in with a 3-1 count. I've got to go attack with a fastball. You walk him. Oh, well, you try to flip the page. And then when he gets
and a rope out to center field. That's deep. Well hit. And did he make that catch? He did make that catch.
Lord.
Oh, my God, what a catch. Gideon makes a diving play out there. You'd think Gio Morello is out there himself. Holy mackerel, what a catch.
That's one of the best catches I've seen in this league. He definitely tagged though.
Okay, so we had the umpire give a safe sign, but I think they were appealing second base whether he pulled away too early. by Gideon out in center field. I didn't think he had a chance to get that. Ortega's walking back to the bench almost laughing. He can't believe he caught it either. And smart base running by Brody Black to tag up there and get to third. So the argument being made here on the appeal, I guess, I don't know what else he'd have to argue about unless they, I mean, even if they ruled that a non-catch, you've still got the same situation, first and third with one out. I guess they believe that the base runner left early.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things with Brody's tag there too is he knows that that's a ball where even if he catches it on a layout, it's going to be tough to relay that ball in. And so he came in with the intention of potentially scoring there and was running the third hot. I'm not sure if
you could tell when he come around third base there, he had thoughts of it, and he had to get flagged down by the third base coach. So there's an extended conversation here.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, one thing that I didn't see is that because it was a line drive and the third base umpire was already inside, he's unable to go out and see that fly ball, which would change the call on the tag up. But if he stays inside the infield, then that's going to still remain his call. So the only thing I can suggest is that he's wondering if anybody else saw the base runner leave early. Now, it all happened very quickly, but it looked like a good tag to me. So I apologize, folks. I'm really not sure what the major discussion is about other than a tag play. And if he decided that he didn't leave early, I'm not sure why he's still out there. I mean, the decision's been made. But don't let that dissuade anyone from remembering what an unbelievable play that was by Justin Gideon, excuse me.
Saving extra bases there, saving, 2 runs for sure if he doesn't catch that
One
ball.
For sure, 2 maybe, and at the very worst, it's 1 in with runners on second and third and still nobody out.
Yeah.
So Andrew Savage is up now with a runner on third, an opportunity to make it 3-0. Seward comes set, and the pitch is in the dirt. Nice play by Mullen to pick that. That saved a run. They talk about Mullen as one of the better receivers in the league there. What's been your experience with Mullen?
I threw him in the All-Star game. I really liked it. He called a good game. He calls to your strengths. You have a little chat with him beforehand. Say, yeah, I like my slider. I like my changeup. So he called a lot of them. It worked out pretty well in terms of pitch calling. I enjoyed throwing him back there. He's a good presence.
Good stuff.
I think in terms of hands, though, I think if you're looking at pure hands, I think Deolio might have a slight edge. That guy is silky smooth behind the dish.
And what an arm that guy's got, too. 2-0 pitch. Line deep to left center field, and is down and off the wall and over the wall for a ground rule double. Savage stays hot. Another barreled up bat. And now how big is that catch by Gideon? It's 5-0 now if Gideon doesn't make that catch. Wow, Savage absolutely ripped that. One bounce off the top of the fence and over and out. And now you've got Walker Hultgren up. That's a double. And it is now 3-0 and still only 1 out. So Hultgren's got an opportunity here. And let's face it, when you're playing Welland, every run matters.
Absolutely.
And every opportunity to score matters, doesn't
Absolutely. Yeah,
so here's the
a
pitch
team
and
where
another
that
rip ball.
Ripped.
Headed deep
See
to
a
right
ball.
field.
Get
Way
out,
back
ball.
and
That is gone. Let's go, walk.
A 3-run bomb by Walker Hultgren, and it is 6-0 Brantford. That was a no-doubter, and as Marshall and I often talk, there's that one advertisement out there where most of the home runs seem to go over top of in right center field. Boy, that was gone from the bat.
That ball was gone. Walker could tell right off the bat. He knew it. He was walking out of the box, and he watched that thing fly. That was awesome. It's going to be really fun to see that lefty swing get hot.
Well, I tell you what, man, this team's starting to warm up. Even those games that, where the Brantford Red Sox were having trouble, they were still scoring a bunch of runs. They got down early a couple of weeks ago, down 7-0 before an inning was over, and then ended up getting 8 runs, and it turned into like a 12-8 ball game. I forget the exact final score there. So Seward, you got to feel bad for Seward. He was thrust into a tough situation, had to hurry up and get ready. He threw maybe 6 or 7 pitches, and 3 of them got barreled up. And again, now you're, like I said, you keep looking back at that Gideon catch, and there wouldn't be anybody out, and it's 7-0. But tell you what, man, these Brantford bats are catching fire. Watch out, man. So we're going to bring in another lefty here.
Dan Howitt, the former Brantford player. Dan Howitt.
So not only a former Brantford player, but a Brantford native, 6'2", 245 pounds, 23 years old. Danny Howitt.
Yeah, Danny was a good arm. We played together back in 2023. Started off as a reliever, but late year we kind of needed someone to anchor a 3-starter spot, and he did a really good job of that, and then ended up making the move to Welland because he lives down in St. Catharines now. So setting up a life for himself down there, and figured he wanted to keep playing high-level baseball, so he made the little move to the Jackfish. But he was definitely a good teammate to have, and definitely a good presence on our team when we had him.
Well, I remember him. I was in Kitchener in 23, and I remember him starting against us at Couch. And you guys beat us that game, as I recall.
Yeah, in
So
2023, that was a
pitcher.
rare occurrence. In 2023, that was a pretty rare occurrence, too. Especially
You guys
getting
didn't win a lot of
in
ball
Kitchener.
games. I say we, Kitchener, we beat you up pretty good early on. But I remember you coming into Kitchener and beating us somewhere mid 2/3 of the way in.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I remember that game as well. I pitched that game because I remember I faced Nick Parsons, who I went to school with, and it was a fun little strikeout I got him on because I let him know.
And that's a tall order, too, because Parsons is a good hitter.
Parsons is a very good hitter. He set our school record for home runs with 20 in 2024.
Wow. So we're back at it here. Howitt pitches, and a ball is popped up, short center field. Long run for Gideon. And he makes the catch. Oops. So Kuzemka flies out to center field. 2 out now for the first baseman, Cassidy Watt. I've gotten to know Cass pretty good over the last couple of weeks. I remember him from last year as well. First pitch to him is off speed, off the knob, down first baseline foul. Let's talk about Cassidy. Good guy in the room.
Yep. Good catcher,
really
hard worker.
Baseball head, loves to think the game.
Just loves baseball. I mean, there's people that, play baseball and they like baseball, and then there's people that just they love baseball. They breathe
Ground
baseball.
ball up the middle. Fielded cleanly by Smybert, throws across to first base and gets the 3rd out. So 3 outs now, and through 5 complete, the Brantford Red Sox explode for 4, and it is 6-0. But again, folks, don't go away, because the Welland Jackfish can one you to death, and this game is a long way from over as we head toward the 5th inning. So, the 6th inning. So Mejia coming back out for his 6th inning of work, and let's hope that he can continue to do what he's been doing. I noticed Holden Craig was warming up earlier.
Yep.
And we're liable to see him later on, you would think. I would assume that's the plan. He gave 3 really solid innings of relief in their victory here last week.
Yeah, no, Holden was phenomenal last weekend, giving us 3 and
between him and Colby Klepper,
3 1/3.
3 1/3 inning of relief, and
I think he
that was just the wildest game of the year,
too.
wasn't it? It was 4-3. For those who didn't see it, it was 4-3 heading into the 9th inning against Hamilton. Hamilton scores 2 to take the lead. But before the inning is 2 batters old, it's tied up for a single and a double, and that was Hulkgren as well, right? And so that's tied up, and then the Baltimore chop, as we used to call it, Christian Ortega bounces one over the 3rd baseman and walks off the Hamilton Cardinals. You guys always seem to have good ball games against the Hamilton Cardinals. It just seems that way.
I think you kind of have to. I think when you think about like geography and the CBL and where teams are located, they're right down. We playing Hamilton, we're gonna go get ourselves a win. You know, they're chippy, they like to talk a little bit, but yeah, I think we match up really well against them as well. So,
But Leandro
oh yeah, Leandro
throws some great warm-ups. I tell you, we used to call that effectively wild. Sometimes you didn't. If
that you're a little bit crazy, and it's like the old Bob Gibson zone, right? You run one by his chin, you run one by his teeth, you brush him off the plate by an inch or two, and then you have that outside corner again.
Yep, absolutely. So the designated hitter, Ethan Mann, leading off the top of the 6th inning. And a pitch.
Good pitch.
In for strike 1. And that's so important for Leandro to throw the first pitch, strike, get ahead, stay ahead, isn't it?
100%. It's important for like our entire staff. I mean, that's kind of our staff motto, and it's especially been over the past few weeks, is win that first pitch, and then, you know, you can kind of, gets away a little bit. And then you can kind of bridge and, you know, go and win that second pitch.
When you get ahead of them, you get them swinging. Those strike to ball pitches work more often when you're ahead of the count. 1-1 pitch.
Good.
Fastball to the outside. Nice pitch there. Fouled it off to the first base dugout. 1-2.
What I really like about Leandro's approach tonight, too, is he's attacking not just with his four seam, but he's mixing in the cutter pretty consistently as well, and just keeping righties off balance from one that kind of holds plane and holds some carry versus one that has a little bit more depth and gets a little bit of glove side action. That's why you're seeing a lot of end cap balls on swings where they seem to be on time.
2 pitch. Oh, just a little bit low there. Nice take by Mann. 2-2.
And then he's mixing in that slower
slider, changing up the speed. That makes it a deadly pitch. 2-2 pitch. Fouled out of play on the right-hand side. Over into the next diamond there. We always play a little game of which car's getting hit next.
I think
so
that was
far,
middle of the field at George Henry.
2-2 pitch. Mejia set. Wind up. Oh, and that is ripped down the line. Will it stay fair? If it stays fair, it's gone, and it is
gone.
Gone. Home run. Boy, that ball was hammered. There was no doubt it was going to be gone. The only question, as we mentioned before, folks, don't go anywhere. It doesn't matter what the score is here when the Welland Jackfish are involved. A 4 spot going down 6-0. It's so important to go out there and get a run back in that next inning. It's just a feel thing, but 1 run is still much better than coming out with nothing. So now it's Justin Gideon, who has hit the ball hard twice, but has nothing to show for it. 2 line drives right at Brody Black, and he starts him off with an inside pitch that's a ball 1.
Good
1-0 pitch is
Leandro.
fouled off to the first base dugout. 1-1.
Yeah, that's a really good pitch right there to come back from a 1-0 after giving up the home run and get yourself even. Now you have a chance to set yourself up for the strikeout again.
So the 1-1 pitch. Tries the outside corner and misses. 2-1. Good idea there, and that's momentum is a beautiful thing. 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back over the fence. 2-2. So what an important out this would be for Leandro Mejia to be able to get a dangerous hitter like Gideon.
To face Robert Mullen is huge in this situation.
2-2 pitch.
Ah.
Ripped again to right field. This time he gets it down. It's a base hit to Brody Black. still need 12 outs, and here comes Greg Rapp, and you wonder if that's going to be all for Mejia.
Yeah, definitely not sure. I mean, a couple loud bangs there to start the 6th inning. You don't really know if, he's going to settle into a groove here with Mullen coming up and the 3rd time through the order. It might not be a bad idea to maybe think about going to Holden soon with Jorge Fresh ready to go, and also Cade Kozak, a big lefty for us, is also ready to go. This definitely looks like a mound meeting, a little bit.
Well, if he hasn't made the move yet, you wouldn't think he's going to.
No handshakes. Just a little bit of a chat. See if you can go get Mullen into a double play here, because it's a good double play candidate. And then Hoope with the righty-righty matchup again. Maybe ride out 2 more hitters before we go in Holden.
Well, they're going to stick with Mejia. And you make a great point. That is a good double play candidate, Robert Mullen. So far, a ground ball to third base and a single in 2 trips for Mullen. So nobody out as of yet. Man led off with the home run, and Gideon ripped one into right field for a single. And we're back at it. Here's the pitch. That ball is hit up in the air. Going to be a tough play. And that's unfortunate for Brantford, where Mullen hits a lollipop over the shortstop's head and drops in. You have to play deep for Mullen, but when he hits a duck snort like that, unfortunately, your outfielders are too deep to get that. Yeah. So a nice break for Mullen, who now is 2 for 3 on the day, and you got Brandon Hoope up, who has struck out and hit into a hot. By the look of it, he's ready to go in case he's called upon.
Yeah, it definitely seems like if another batter gets on, or honestly just for the next batter, it's going to be Holden here.
Ground ball, Taylor-made double play, fumbled by Bateman. It's short, but he still gets the out at second base. An all-important out. They had an opportunity for 2 there, but unable to field it cleanly for Bateman.
Turn 2, especially with a little bit of an inexperienced middle there with Chris Ortega on the back half of that turn, having not played a whole lot of second base before this year, and really just doing his best out there, giving it a full compete effort.
In fairness, too, last time he was up, he hit that ground ball, tailor-made double play ball to Bateman, who threw it to second, and then Ortega had to throw off his back foot based on the play and was unable to double him off. So it's a fair point you're making.
Good first pitch strike.
Start off with the strike there for Mejia. He's really had a good handle on the lower end of that strike zone all night long.
Smibert's an interesting hitter to face too. I think, me personally, I'm going to throw him a lot of changeups and then maybe see if I can beat his hands if he starts to lean. I think a guy like Leandro, you kind of go start him off with something slow and.
It's a bluff, sorry.
Oh my goodness, Leandro. That was a nice little improvised play. We don't have that in our playbook. The Little League throwback to the catch. Is grab it out of the air, like Calvin Johnson playing free safety. If anybody watching played Madden 25 back in the day.
So 1-1 count to Smybert, a veteran of this league, dangerous hitter.
A veteran of many leagues. Just a very seasoned hitter, a very good college hitter as well. Also a former coach of mine, at least on the strength side of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. James used to do a lot of my...
Nice play by Savage there to get the pitch that was well inside.
Yeah, he used to do...
So 2-1 count. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Hoope bounced there. It looked like he might go yet. That would be a very risky play at this point. Down 5. And if you're Welland, you might feel like you've got a pitcher on the ropes here with a couple of hits. You could really put a crooked number up. But that's how they play, right? They love to run. Doesn't go. Fouled off. Nice pitch there. Came with the fastball. A little too hot for Smybert. Unable to straighten it out.
Honestly, I think personally I'm fine with trading it out for a run here. I think you want to just get closer to that finish line, especially in the late stages of the game with the bullpen going. So if you can get a fielder's choice or even just an out with Smybert. Oh!
just missed off the outside plate. Savage really wanted that pitch.
Yeah,
You
good.
always know that sign from a catcher where he just freezes there and says, any second. Get Hoope going on the 3-2 pitch. Taking his time. Runner goes. Fouled off. Nice piece there by Smybert fouling off.
He's still going to be a tough hitter. He's still going to go try and put the ball in play, especially with a runner on third and no force. He's just going to try and put something in the ground, run it out at worst, and cash a run for his team.
This might be a good time to throw over. Even though it's your second throw, he's probably going anyways. So runner does not go. Smybert again, very nice job to stay back on that pitch and get a piece of it. Fouls it out of play down the third base side. Smybert, as you mentioned, Aiden, proving to be a very tough. So we'll do 3-2 again. Will he go this time? Mejia comes set. 3-2 pitch. On the way. Runner goes. And ball 4. The Brantford faithful on the home plate umpire a little bit here, and so is the bench. And I think that's going to be all for Leandro Mejia. He has pitched a beauty. I tell you what, Leandro has given you everything you could hope for. 5 1/3, 1-run ball. Just needs Holden Craig to come out and get a ground ball for him. Of Holden Craig.
Yeah, Holden comes in. I think he throws 92 to 94 mile an hour fastball. It's got a big carry profile, so it's got a lot of ride, around 20 inches of.
Fair enough. Now, for the uninformed at home, let us know what you mean by the ride, the pitch rides. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so normally when you're looking at a pitch as a hitter, that pitch coming in, even if it's a fastball, it's going to drop a little bit on the way to the plate. When that pitch comes in from Holden, it comes out of his hand and it looks like it's about to drop, and then it kind of stops dropping and basically holds in the same spot, and so it looks like it's coming down and then almost going back up and rising back up at you.
So due to a high spin rate, clearly.
Very high spin rate and a very over-the-top arm slot kind of contributes to both of those, whereas someone like me, where I'm throwing from a lower three-quarter slot, I'm going to get a little bit of what's called carry on the ball, but nowhere near the amount that Holden gets, just because of the direction that the baseball's spinning. And I also throw a lot of sinkers, which kind of move in a different direction as Holden's fastball.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, he certainly throws hard. You can tell the snap of the glove. Like, you don't even need to watch Holden Craig throw.
Could really become like a plus pitch or an above average pitch in this league.
For this team. And, the only thing is, you see the walks, 7 walks on the year. The problem, I think, is that he has so much swing and miss that it's tough for him because he gets deep into counts because of the amount of swing and miss. keeps, just like Leandro, more strikes he throws, the more effective he is.
100%. I think with Holden, I think the more he can win that first pitch strike, the more he's going to just set himself up in 0-2 and 1-2 count. Guy could potentially start in this league and be one of the harder throwing starters. And if he can kind of be a little bit more efficient, cut down on some of those walk numbers, and just continue to attack, he's a guy that could go out and be.
Very difficult guy to double up. Great wheels, good bat, and of course superlative defense. Up and out, a little bit overthrown there, maybe a little quick. Nice play by Savage to get a piece of that, get in front of it. Otherwise, that's going to the backstop.
Yeah, Savage is really good at dirt or up high. He kind of manages to keep in front of himself, which is really nice.
Well, 1-0 pitch, just up, 2-0. And it just make itself a little bit more nervous here if you're not throwing strikes. The Welland bench full of momentum. 2-0 pitch. That's a big at bat. Nice pitch there. Strike one on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, there's that big fastball. If he can use that in zone, even if he's consistently throwing fastballs a lot, it's got so much carry on it, it's got so much oomph to it that it's just such a hard pitch to consistently square up.
So Morello, extremely difficult to double up here. Just make sure you get one out, as you mentioned earlier. Oh, and there's one that he bounced. Well, that's unfortunate. He threw one in the dirt there, and he throws so hard. So 6-2 now on the wild pitch, which I assume we'd have to score that as, seeing as it bounced in front of the catcher. And now 3-1 to Morello.
Yeah, another really big pitch here by Holland. If he can get himself into a 3-2, he sets himself up to have Morello in a little bit more of protect mode, a little bit more in a swing mode. But right here, you just got to go attack with your best stuff, which, in my opinion, you just go and attack him with the fastball inner half. And
one pitch, ball four. So now the bases are loaded again. It's a little different situation here, though. Carson Johnson, who is having an outstanding game defensively.
Third baseman number 13, Carson Johnson.
And now you're going to have corners in. If ground ball, so corners in and center back. So if a ground ball goes to the corner infielders, they're going to go home and get the out. If it goes up the middle, to try and turn a double play. Strike one there, just caught the outside plate. Might have got a call. Very nice pitch.
back up another to Tim so we can go 5-2-3.
You open up the arsenal tier too, right? You can throw just about anything. This pitch, a slider would probably work real well here. Right at the bottom of the zone, and that's the one pitch that strike the ball slider.
Yeah, something out of zone, something that gets him to maybe swing.
See if you can get him to chase here, eh?
Potentially even just elevate a fastball and get him to chase something at his eyes. Everything's open. Ooh, right idea.
Just overthrown a little bit. 1-2 now, though. And now they got an opportunity. One-two pitch, 6-2 for Brantford. One out. Top of the sixth inning. 1-2 pitch on the way. Strike three, called.
Great pitch by Holden.
And he knew it right away, and even I could see that one.
That's what we
order to a very dangerous Daike Airbay, who's in a position to get Welland back in the ball game. First pitch to Daike, a little bit high.
Earlier in the year, and it's really tough throwing to that zone. I will say that he's a very good hitter in terms of his bat to ball skills and very fast. And couple that with the small zone, it's no wonder why Welland picked him up.
Got it down low enough that time. I think Arbe thought that was a little bit up as well, but he got it at the belt. 1-1 pitch. A lot of drama here. Fans from both sides very vocal. Every pitch matters when you're playing the Welland Jackfish. 1-1 pitch. On the way. Strike 2 called, and Arbe thought that was up as well. So now, again, all bets are off here. You got any pitch you want. You go back to that same fastball that struck out Johnson, or you can do the strike to ball slider.
I think
Probably
fastball
leaning
here.
towards slider myself.
I think fastball here, maybe to just see if he's just gonna swing and miss. Yep.
Strike 3, swing and a miss. And Craig is fired up as he comes off the field.
That's our big donkey right there.
1 run, 2 hits, 3 left on base. And after 5.5 innings, it is 6-2 for Brantford. Aiden Armitage, I want to thank you very much. It was nice to talk to you as much as possible. You're a great guy, great baseball mind. Thanks for joining us, and good luck in getting healthy, and hopefully we'll see you on the field real soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. It was a blast being up here, and let's get this win.
Absolutely. Let's get a dub. All right, folks. So it's a party here. They're giving away pizza here at the Arnold Anderson Stadium. Boy, howdy. Drama in the Arnold Anderson Stadium tonight as the Brantford Red Sox doggedly, determinedly hanging to the 6-2 lead. We're off to the bottom of the 6th now, and what you're looking for from this order is to get back the run that just gave up in the top of the inning, and that's going to be very important. Momentum is such a real thing here, and keep in mind that they've already burned through 2 pitchers. You got Danny Howitt on the mound for Welland. And I believe the top of the order, coming up for the Brantford Red Sox. Cantor, Black, Holick. Drama, drama, drama. What a wonderful game this has been, folks, here on a Friday night in Brantford. We thank you all so very much for joining us. We sure appreciate it. And again, it's Brian Hawley filling in for the quite busy technician, Marshall Crocker, the actual voice of the Brantford Red Sox. And he is in the building doing technical things and looking as good as always. Don't kid yourself, folks. He knows what he's doing over there. Doesn't matter what he's doing. He's a natural at this broadcast and stuff. And he helps along us rookies. Help keep it up. So I was mistaken. It's not the top of the order. It's Lucas Bateman up, the 9-hitter, who is 2 for 2 with a double, an RBI double, and a single. And he knocks it way up in the air. Major league pop-up for Weisner. It's a tough play there. Look out now. And he makes the catch. He ran to his left. He ran to his right. Frankly, he looked kind of like I would look if I was doing a pop-up. But Weisner is a much better player than I am, fortunately, for the Welland Jackfish, and he made that catch. That was a tough play. That was what you call a major league pop-up. And I mentioned earlier, at dusk, the sky is at its most difficult at dusk, where you don't lose anything in the sun, but that sky hasn't gotten dark yet. And when the sky is dark, you can see that white ball. But when there's still some light, it makes it very, very difficult. So that's the first out of the inning and the first time they have gotten Lucas Bateman. So to the top of the order, and a pitch comes in just a bit high for ball 1. Cantor, 4th at bat, yet to get a hit, struck out, walked, and lined out to the shortstop. That pitch just a bit down. Again, there's a lot of tension in the stands here today. There's a lot of Welland Jackfish fans. As always, they travel so well. Maybe the most popularly supported team in the league. 1-1 pitch, up again, 2-1 to Cantor, a very, very patient hitter. And he doesn't mind taking a walk, and he has taken a lot of them this season, that's for sure. So here we are in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 pitch in for a strike. Excuse me, 3-0 pitch in for a strike, 3-1. Howitt, similar to Petterpiece, on the first base side of the rubber. Bus Cantor in. He fouls it back over the top of the screen. And now it's 3-2. Cantor has been very instrumental in a lot of rallies for this team so far this season. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Pitch is up, and another walk taken by Jacob Cantor. That's 2 walks on the night. He has 4 at-bats already, and it's only the 6th inning.
The right fielder, number 4, Brody Black.
So Brody Black up for his 4th at-bat as well. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Would be 2 for 2 other than that incident where he was hitting the baseball from outside the back of the batter's box. So 1 out, 1 on. Here's the pitch to Black. Up. And that's a few pitches that have been up for Howitt. Don't anticipate Cantor running. And that hits the batter. Oh, no, it missed him. Sorry, my bad. Inside, though, 2-0. Black looks very relaxed. He's seeing the ball very well. Watch out here. He could smoke one. Pitch at the top of the zone is in there. Strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Black just looks like he's looking for something specific. And if he sees it, he's going to jump on it. Good swing there, but he got underneath it and fouled it out of play, back into the seats. So 2-2 now. Nice job by Howitt to get back into this count. A small but boisterous crowd tonight here at Arnold Anderson Stadium. 2-2 pitch. Runner does not go. There's a pitch. Hit up into the night sky. Center fielder underneath it. And it's caught. So we've had some changes defensively. So Grant got pinch hit for by Morello. Obviously, Morello's going to play in the outfield, who I assume will take over in center field. And normally Gideon would be playing in right. Brandon Hoope has moved over to first base. We don't always get all these changes, folks, but I'm trying to keep my eye out for it. So we've got 2 out now after the fly ball for Brody Black. Runner goes. And a great jump. And the throw was dropped, or he slid right into the throw. Anyway, he's safe at second, stolen base. So that's an important stolen base with a good hitter like Holik up, who is 2 for 3. Has 2 singles and grounded out to the third baseman. So now with Cantor at second base, outfield has to play deep for Holik and respect his power. So a base hit here could very much score a run. There's a ground ball down to third base. Step back, drop step, nice play over, and another nice play at third base, this time by Smybert, who has moved over to third base. Gets him at first base, and that's 3 out, and that is the end of the 6th inning. And we'll take a little 90-second break here, and we'll be back for the top of the 7th.
off the seventh of the Jackfish, the second baseman, number 4, Jonah Weisner.
And we are back for the top of the 7th inning. 6-2 Brantford over the visiting Welland Jackfish. Leading off the 7th for Welland is Jonah Weisner. Holding Craig on for his second inning of work. Starts him off with a strike there, very important. And it's been a slow night for Weisner, who is 0 for 2. Oh for 3, excuse me, after a strikeout. Oh and 2 now. Holding Craig is a load up there. Throws hard, lots of good breaking stuff. 0-2 pitch, grounded softly to first base, fielded cleanly by Cassidy Watt, runs over, touches the bag, and gets the first out of the inning. So 1 away now. So Ethan Mann, who hit a mammoth home run last time he was up to get the first run in for the Welland Jackfish, is up this time facing Halden Craig. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Looks like it's gonna make it out of play. Into the stands and out of play. So a very dangerous part of the Welland order coming up here with Mann and Gideon. You'll do yourself a huge favor if you can get these two fellas out. And then perhaps, if you're a Brantford fan, hoping that they don't get another at bat this evening. So 4 pitches, 4 strikes thus far in this inning for Craig. And here's the pitch. And deemed to be a swing by the first base umpire, and Mann is upset about that call. Somebody just got thrown out. I think the first base coach. Yep, first base coach just got thrown out. Apparently disagreed with the call on the swing. Welland clearly feeling like they're getting the short end of the stick tonight, but that was a close play. So, just to clarify, 1 out, nobody on. 0-2 pitch on Mann. And now all bets are on for Craig, excuse me. He can throw the slider. He can throw that change up at the bottom of the zone. Ground ball back up the middle, gets through the pitcher, and unable to field it is Ortega. And so what I'm sure Ethan Mann will think is karma. He gets an infield single out of it and is now 2 for 3 with a walk. So he hit the ground ball, got just underneath the glove of Craig, and then, Ortega got to it. He didn't field it cleanly, but I don't think there was any chance he had it. So I think we give him a hit there. And so a runner on first with the ever-dangerous Justin Gideon up, who is 1 for 3, but boy, howdy, he's hit the ball hard every time. Here's the pitch up and all the way to the backstop. That'll move the runner up to second base. Craig carries an ERA over 5, but I don't think that's indicative. He had 1 bad outing, but otherwise he's been rock solid for this team. He had 1 outing where he gave up, I think, 3 or 4 runs in a couple innings, which is kind of bloated his ERA, but doesn't really tell the true picture of the kind of job that he's done. As we mentioned earlier, 3 1/3 innings of relief to get the win against Hamilton last Saturday. So a 1-ball pitch outside for ball 2. But again, you're going through the meat of this order, and not just Gideon, but then you got Mullen up on deck. And so if you can get out of this inning only giving up 1 run, you might consider yourself fortunate. This is a very dangerous stretch. Swing and a miss by Gideon, who was not holding back on that one. He was trying to make it 6-4 with that swing. And as well you should on a 2-0 pitch when you get your fastball. You're going to want to go right at that pitch, and he did. Was unable to make contact. So 2-1. Runner out at second takes the lead. Oh, and a nice pitch there right on the outside part of the plate. Up at the belt. Strike 2 swinging. 2-2 now, and this is a big pitch. Suddenly this is a very big pitch for Brantford. If you can get Gideon out here, then you can do what you want with Mullen. You can pitch around him, put him on, do whatever you want. You don't have to give in to him. So big at bat here for Gideon. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3, and he blew one past him. What a great job by Holden Craig. So 2 away now, and runner on second. Brandon Hoope is a good hitter on deck, but he's not in the class of Mullen, so you could be excused if you pitched around Mullen a little bit with first base open and 2 out. Conservative lead. Ortega trying to keep man close. First pitch, swing and a miss by Mullen up at the top of the zone. And that is 4 straight swings and misses up against some tough Welland hitters. 2 outs. Outfield playing Mullen to pull slightly, but very deep. Well, one pitch popped up. It might stay in. That might stay in, and it did, but it just bounced off the fence before they got a chance to catch it. Great effort by Savage. Hope he's okay. He went sliding in there, sacrificing the body. So unable to get the out, but it is an 0-2 count. So you would think so 0-2 count here, and so you got a couple of options. If you're Craig, you can climb the ladder with that fastball. He's had success with the high fastball. Might be a not bad time to do that. Or you could go outside and see if you can get him to chase a slider. Fly ball out of play down the third base side. Went with the high fastball, but that wasn't quite high enough. So still 0-2. 2 strikes or no strikes, doesn't matter what the count is. Robert Mullen's still a very dangerous hitter. Gets the sign, comes set. Ortega trying to keep the runner close. Here's the pitch, slider, up. That may have been a cutter instead of a slider. But clearly that was the thought. See if you can get him to chase up. Even at 1-2, you don't want to give in to a guy like this. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Tough play. And Ortega makes the catch at second base. And that's 3 out. And no runs allowed. 1 hit. 1 man left, no runs, and we go to the 7th inning stretch. And the score is still 6-2 Brantford. And we are going to give you some out-of-town stuff here, folks. Last we saw, it was a high-scoring affair in London, and it certainly is. Boy, Kitchener plays some really high-scoring games, don't they? 14-7 for London after 7 innings. And you would think that they got their pitching staff beat up last night after a 14-23 to whatever it was, 23-14 or whatever that game was at Couch last night. In Toronto, the Barrie Bay Cats are up 9-4 in the bottom of the 6th. And in Hamilton, the Cardinals are up 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th over the visiting Guelph Royals, who have won 4 straight. So if you are already looking at potential playoff scenarios, it's some help coming for the Brantford Red Sox. If they can only help themselves, Kitchener losing, Guelph losing, Toronto losing, all of these things help the Brantford Red Sox. Welland, Welland's going to be fine, even if they lose tonight. And I know they're not the same kind of record, but this is not the same league as it was last year. Now, is it? I mean, at the end of the day, just about everybody's got better players on their roster than they did last year. And Welland is still Welland, and they're going to be fine, and they'll figure out eventually. And let's face it, they still got Ben Abram, who can throw at any given time. They still got Euclides, who can throw anytime. They still got the big guys in the bullpen like Mendez. I noticed that they released young Gillespie today or yesterday, whenever that was. It was a bit of a surprise to me. But I don't know. I haven't heard if he's going elsewhere to play or whether he's just done. So, anyways, bottom of the 7th we go. And it is Christian Ortega up for his 4th at bat of the evening. And strangely, even though it seems like Ortega's been active, he's 0 for 3 tonight. Ground ball to third, fly ball to center field. And, of course, that unbelievable diving catch by Justin Gideon on the line drive in the 5th inning. So he's hit the ball hard a couple of times, but he's got nothing to show for it. Second pitch is fouled off, and it's 1-1. Ortega's a big guy. That smile of his is infectious. He's such a nice fella to talk to. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Nice pick by Mullen. Howitt doesn't strike a lot of guys out. 10 or 11 innings pitched thus far. He's only struck out 8. Fouled off again to the plate, to the fence, and now it is 2-2. Howitt against Ortega. Checks the sign, comes set, and the pitch. Nicely done, fought off, and keeps it fair. Down the first base line, he's running first and headed for 2. The ball goes to the fence, and it's thrown back in by Gideon, and it's a stand-up double. Leadoff double for Christian Ortega, who finally gets something to show for hitting the ball hard tonight. He was a beautiful piece of hitting. It was off speed and right out, probably off the plate. He just reached it out, and because he's a right-handed hitter, Hoope was playing him a good 15 feet off the first base line, and so the soft liner just went down the line, kept it fair by about 2 feet, down into the corner it went, and a stand-up double for Ortega. That's a big run standing out there at second base. So now you've got the red-hot Andrew Savage up, who is 1 for 2 with a walk. Swings at a pitch out of the strike zone and fouls it out of play. This is go time, you have to believe, with the way that Hultgren's been throwing the ball or hitting the ball, and Kozemka's had it a couple of times pretty well. This is the go time for Brantford. That's a nice pitch there, and it's 0-2. And so it's important for Savage to have at least a productive out here and move the runner along so that he sets it up for the hot hitter Hultgren. 0-2 pitch. Popped up. Tough play for the shortstop and the center fielder, and it dropped. It dropped. No catch. So Savage finds a hole. It's reminiscent of the Muller hit a couple innings ago where it wasn't hit well at all. It just found the black hole there and into the Bermuda Triangle right where nobody could get to it. You have to respect the power, and so you play deep. And Morello, I tell you what, if Morello's not getting it, you don't think anybody in this league is getting it because he's about as good a center fielder as there is in this league. And so now you've got Walker Hultgren up, who hit the big home run last time up. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a fly out to center field. 2 out, nobody on. Howard starts him off with the soft curveball. He lefty here, but he was 1 for 2 against the starter Pettipies, which was also lefty. So we'll see how he does here. Well, 1 pitch, and it is fisted the other way, and also it's a tough ball. And we have no catch. No. Oh. He did. Okay, sorry. The umpire put the palms down first and then called an out. Fair enough. So the ball was caught. I beg your pardon. Got me a little confused there when he threw the safe sign out. Okay, so 1 out. That's a big out for Howitt. But Kuzemka up now with 1 out. He is 1 for 3 with a double. So after a couple of lollipops, making the Welland defense chase the ball all over the place, swing and a miss, 1-1. Kuzemka again playing his first game for Brantford. First game in the league since 2023 when he played for Brantford. So he hit a double in the first inning. In the second inning. Good take there on a pitch that's up out of the zone. 2-1 now. And like I said, this is, if you're a Brantford fan, this is a time where you really want to slam the door on this game. Couple of runs here could really blow it open. 2-1 pitch. Nice pitch there on, was probably a changeup. 2-2 now. Good lead for Ortega there on second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And boy, howdy, Howitt, who was up against it with 2 on and nobody out, gets a pop out and a strikeout. And now it's up to Cassidy Watt to deliver with 2 out, similarly to what Lucas Bateman did earlier in the game. Cassidy's 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a fly out to center field. There's the pitch. It's up and out. Ball 1. Cassidy's had a solid start to the season. Batting a .264 at the start of the game. Takes a pitch there, and it's 1-1. Howitt doing a nice job mixing up speeds, inside, outside, up and down, changing speeds, changing eye angles. 1-1 pitch on the way. Nice pitch there. Tailed away from him. Swing and a miss. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Howitt, all of a sudden, after giving up 2 base runners to start the inning, is now 1 pitch out of getting out of this mess and giving his team a chance to come back in the 8th. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cassidy Watt fires the bat. He's disgusted with himself. And we have 3 out, and we are headed for the 8th inning. We assume Alden Craig is going to come out and pitch the 8th inning. Yep, here he comes. I saw Jorge de la Cruz walking around there earlier, and he is the Brantford closer, so he should be available for them should the need arise. And frankly, considering where we are in the order, and I think it's Smybird up to lead the inning, 7, 8, 9. Even if Craig gets 1, 2, 3 this inning, that would mean the top of the order up in the 9th, which would probably lend one to think that maybe De La Cruz was going to come in and throw for the 9th inning. We shall see how it all plays out. We know that Craig can pitch 3 innings, as I mentioned already. He did last Saturday, but he has been forced to work very hard. So it might be Hoope up first, come to think of it. It was Mullen. Yes, Mullen flew out to the, popped out to the second baseman to end the last inning. So it'll be Brandon Hoope, James Smybert, Logan Grant. And if one of those guys get on, the 9-hitter, Carson Johnson, Logan Grant's out of the game, so it'll be Gio Morello batting third this inning. And so the team looks a little bit more like they normally do with Morello in. It's just, it was weird for me to see Morello not in. I don't remember the last time I saw them play where Morello wasn't out in center field. So again, here in the 8th inning on a beautiful Friday night at about 10 o'clock, we thank you again for joining us, folks. Whether you are Brantford fan or Welland fan or just a fan of baseball or one of my family members who might be joining in and have nothing better to do on a Friday night than to listen to me ramble about baseball. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining in. And shout out to my dad, who, as always, is ignoring people he should be talking to and listening to me blather on. So we go to the top of the 8th. Brandon Hoope leads off the inning. And while I'm on the subject of my dad, a foreshadowing his 85th birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday, early Pop. Many, many more we are hoping for. First pitch is a ball low to Hoope. Craig comes set. And the 1-0 pitch. Down again. 2-0. One thing that has been a bit of a reoccurring factor in this game is that they're having difficulty getting that first batter out, throwing strikes to them. They've walked the leadoff hitter a couple of times tonight. Throwing strikes so very important early on. Nice pitch there, getting a swing and a miss. 2-1. Brantford would be doing themselves a huge favor getting the leadoff hitter in this inning. Oh, and a nice pitch there, right on the inside part of the plate, jammed Hoope. 2-2 now. And so that's how it can change in a hurry. Start off at 2-0, but you throw a good pitch, then throw another good pitch, and suddenly you're in the driver's seat. You got that opportunity. You can elevate the fastball. You can go to the cutter to get off the sweet spot. Go to the strike to ball slider. Let's see what he does. Fouled back. Fastball in. Stands to reason going back to that fastball in that tied up Hoope on the 2-1 pitch and go back to it on the 2-2. So we'll do it again at 2-2. 6th pitch of the at-bat. Craig winds and works. Swing and a miss. He struck him out for the first out of the inning. Comes back from 2-0. What a wonderful set of pitches thrown there in the last half of that at-bat. So now you've got Smybert. They haven't got Smybert out yet tonight. Has a single and 2 walks, 1 for 1 on the night. First pitch is up for a ball 1. One-0 pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. Outfield play Smybert straight away. You may as well just go ahead and throw strikes to Smybert because you know he's disciplined. He's a veteran. He'll wait for you to throw in a strike. He's no hurry to go after the pitches. He's probably sitting dead right on a fastball and looking at one location. If he doesn't get it, he'll lay off that too. And he thinks he got it, fouls it off the third base side, and it's going to go out of play. And that speaks volumes right there to the kind of velo that Craig is throwing tonight, where he threw a veteran player like Smybert the pitch that he wanted and still nearly got it past him, so he fouled it off to the opposite side. So 2-1 now. Our crack bat boy staff reloading the home plate umpire, keeping the game moving. And we're ready to go again. 2-1 pitch on the way. Up, ball 3. And again, Smybert isn't going to chase stuff like that. You got to go right at him. Very tough hitter in Morello on deck here, so don't do Smybert any favors. If you're a Red Sox fan, you want to go right at him. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Winds and he works. And that's up as well in a 5-pitch walk to Smybert. Walks for the 3rd time tonight. So Morello comes up for his second at bat. He walked in his only at bat this evening when he pinch hit for Logan Grant. He came up with the bases loaded, but with a wild pitch scored the run, which then put first base open, and then he walked to fill that base up. So 1 out and 1 on. Morello, one of the fastest players in the league. Good luck doubling this guy up. So you just want to make sure you get 1 out here and face Johnson at the bottom of the order and try and get out of the 8th. Swing and a miss for Morello. It's 0-1. Craig in his 3rd inning of relief, still throwing gas here. And again, De La Cruz is available down there, although there's nobody stirring in the bullpen as of yet. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. That's the cutter. It just is a late breaking pitch. It's almost a backdoor pitch, but it's thrown so hard you have no chance to react to it breaking back in on the plate. 0-2 now. Big pitch coming here. Fouled back over the fence on the 3rd base side of home plate. You got to think that if he can replicate, Craig, can replicate that backdoor cutter that he threw at 0-1, you would think he'd get a strikeout here. Pitch was well up. What you call your non-competitive pitch, which is unfortunate when you got an 0-2 count. You like to have them at least close enough to make the batter at least have a thought about swinging at it. Make him, as they say, have a good take. So the 1-2 pitch here, set up nicely for something off speed. There it is inside. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Two out now, and like I say, it's a small but raucous crowd here in Brantford tonight, and they are loving these Red Sox. Still 6-2. Now you've got 2 out. Smybert on first. 9-hitter Carson Johnson up, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. He got hit early, flew out to right field, and struck out looking. Swing and a miss for strike 1, and boy, Craig is just pounding it in there. There is a little bit of action in that Brantford bullpen. Craig has thrown quite a few pitches. And like I said, if he can get through here, then with the top of the order up coming in the 9th, I wonder if they'll go to De La Cruz, their closer, to close things out here, because this is a win that they definitely need. 0-1 pitch. You got to be careful. Johnson is one who likes to get close to the plate, and that's what he did last time. He had him 0-2, and he hit him with it. You can see on your camera there that he likes to stand close to the plate. Gets those hands out there. Nice pitch there with the cutter. Overpowering now. 1-2. 1 strike from getting out of this. And again, this dangerous Welland lineup is going back to the top after this hitter. The crowd egging him on. 1-2 pitch, 2 outs. Mybert on first. The pitch just a bit outside. 2-2. Nice take there by Johnson. Hultgren, the center fielder, now moving over to the first base side, expecting him to not be able to pull the ball. 2-2 pitch on the way, just outside again. Tried the cutter, but pulled it glove side. And so Savage is trying to get Hultgren to move over more to the first base side. They really don't think that Johnson's going to pull the ball if he puts it in play. Kuzemka playing very deep. 3-2 now, so the runner will be in motion. Ground ball, you'll have to throw it across the field. Here's the pitch, string and a miss, and he got him for strike 3, 3 out. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is still 6-2 for Brantford. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Holden Craig. Overpowering relief work by him. And we're going to go for a 60-second break here. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 8th. Come on back. Don't you dare miss it. And welcome back, folks. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. It's 6-2 for Brantford over the visiting Welland Jackfish. Leading off the 8th, the 9-hitter for your Brantford Red Sox, Lucas Bateman, 2 for 3. A clutch 2-out RBI double, a base hit, and a pop out to the second baseman Wisner. Howitt still into work. We're guessing that they're going to want Howitt to get through this. And then if they do make some noise in the 9th, maybe they bring somebody else in the 9th, but Howitt is throwing well so far. That's a strike there, 1-1. Howitt has done a great job of mixing it up, mixing the speeds up, changing the eye levels, inside, outside, up and down. 1-1 pitch just outside. Not an overpowering pitcher, and as I mentioned earlier, if you were here for Aiden Armitage visiting, when I was coaching with Kitchener, Danny Howitt pitched in the game in which Brantford beat us in Kitchener. And there's a pitch and a base hit ripped into left field. And once again, for I believe the 5th time this evening, the Brantford Red Sox had the leadoff hitter on base. And make no mistake, folks, this is still the Welland Jackfish, the defending champs, the defending pennant winners, I think 3-time defending pennant winners. These guys can hit, and they are very good. So there is no lead that's safe. So you got to get greedy in a time like this if you're Brantford and try and get another run. Squares the bunt, takes the pitch, and it is a strike. That's a really interesting pitch, that changeup or sinker or whatever he's calling that. It's got some nice drop to it. Good vertical movement. 0-1 pitch. Not bunting this time. Rips one, and that's going to be fouled out of play, third base side. Got a big chunk of that one. But a loud, long strike nonetheless. 0-2. Bateman on first. It's his 3rd time on base after getting 3 hits. And we've noticed that he does not take a very big lead off. Nicely fouled off at the plate there on an 0-2 pitch. Good spoil. Boy, Howard has really given them yeoman's work, hasn't he? I mean, they were in a lot of trouble there. Pretipice, we hope he's okay. We're hoping the best for him. But clearly something was bothering him. They had to pull him quickly. 0-2 pitch, high and outside for 1-2. And then they brought in Seward, who was really thrown into an unenviable situation where he had to warm up real quick, and he got absolutely hammered for 2 or 3 at-bats. And they brought in Howitt, and he has righted the ship right away. So kudos to him. 1-2 pitch, popped up, and it looks like it'll make it out of play on the first base side. Hoope gave it a look, but to no avail. So another good spoil by Cantor. Still 1-2. You almost feel confident about sending Bateman here because Cantor has been very good at putting the bat on the ball. Bluff. Ball is up, 2-2. I guess that's the other side. Very good defensive catcher in Mullen here. So if you're going, you better be sure. 2-2 pitch. Ripped down the into the hole and a base hit through the left-hand side. And first and second, nobody out for Brantford. And I believe this is the third time tonight that they've had first and second and nobody out. So that's the first hit of the night for Cantor. 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Still on base 3 times. Stole a base. And scored a run. I tell you what, Brody Black had a real good look at a bunch of pitches in his last at bat, but it didn't turn into anything. So I wonder, now that he's seen Howitt, be very respectful of the big power here. Will he bunt? He will bunt. But it's foul. Boy, I'm surprised. I did not see that coming. Brady Black has a ton of power. But I think they recognize the same thing I've been talking about in the fact that one more run is always a good idea when you're playing Welland. So Brody back in the box. 0-1. Let's see if he squares the bunt again. He does not. Chases a pitch in the dirt. And it's 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out to right field. It's carrying deep. Should be enough to move the runner to third. There's the catch made by Gideon. Throws it into second base and an easy advance for Bateman. And so not quite the same as a bunt, but a fly ball that moves the runner along. Not a sac fly because it didn't score a run. Still counts as an at-bat, but a productive out, which is equally important at this point. So now you've got Holick. 1 out, runners on the corners. They are in at the corners looking for a play at the plate. They are back in the middle looking for a double play. First pitch to Holick is fouled back. So this is why they brought him in, for a situation just like this. To produce a run in this situation. A fly ball here, outfield playing very deep. Bateman runs well. Here's the pitch. It's up and out. I will say this as a word of caution for Jacob Cantor up at first base there. He's taking a very big secondary lead. A cannon behind the plate in Robert Mullen and a right-handed bat makes it easier to do a back pick at first, so you got to get back. Another hit into foul territory, out of play. And in our annual daily game of did a car get hit? Not this time. Not that we're wishing stuff like that to happen, but just a source of entertainment here in the broadcast booth. So 1-2 on Holick. And Brantford needs him to clutch up and bring in a run here. Here's the pitch. Nice take there, pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Christian Ortega on deck, 1 for 4 with a double, but has hit the ball. He's hit 2 absolute rockets each of his last 2 at-bats. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Not sure that pitch was a strike. He reared back and found a little extra chutzpah there. Every once in a while, a pitcher is going to, you don't want to drive your Maserati 185 all the time, but it's nice to know you've got that in you for a couple extra miles per hour in a big at-bat. So here's another big at-bat in Ortega. And the ball is served up into right field, and another sliding catch in the outfield. Another nice defensive play by Gideon. And there are 3 out, and we head to the 9th inning. And let's see what's going to happen here. It looks like someone coming out of the bullpen. I have to say Halden Craig is done. Is that 37? Looks like the big man. Yeah, it is. Here comes Jorge de la Cruz, the Brantford closer. No messing around here. Top of the order up for Welland. And acting manager Greg Rapp has gone to his closer. No messing about here. They need this W and don't want Welland to even get a sniff if at all possible. So one heck of a job done by Halden Craig, who gives the Red Sox 3 1/3 innings of 1-run relief. Just a fantastic job. So what you're going to get out of Jorge de la Cruz is something that is one of the toughest pitches to throw, and that is the splitter. So he's got the fastball, and he can throw it 4-seamer or 2-seamer and get some life on it. He's got a sinker. He's also got a slider, and he's got that split. And he's got these great big old hands. And isn't it funny how you see these guys, these good athletes, got these giant-sized hands. And when he holds a baseball, he makes it look like a ping pong ball. When he shakes my hand disappears. So 1 save on the season, but this guy, he throws about 94, 95. His slider is high 80s, almost MLB velo, but he's got some real meat coming up at the top of this order with Abe, and then, of course, Wisner, and then the ever-dangerous Ethan Mann, who's already hit a home run. And if one of those guys get on, then you get Justin Gideon. So, if you're a Red Sox fan, buckle up. We got the top of the Welland order and the best arm they've got out of the bullpen. Top of the 9th, and here we go, sports fans. Abe is a tough strike zone to throw to. Here's the pitch. Fouled off down the third base line, out of play. And that's so important, isn't it? Start off with a strike. As we talked about with Aiden Armitage earlier in the game, get ahead, stay ahead. Well, 1 pitch is up. A lot of life in that Brantford dugout. Cruz, a deliberate pitcher. But when he comes, he brings the heat. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball down to first base. And Watt picks it up and steps on first base and gets the first out. Very nicely played He really had to jump to get that long hop. He didn't want to get short hopped. And so he got enough of it to knock it down. Didn't field it cleanly, but calmly turned around, picked it up, touched first, and got a very, very fast runner in Daike Abe. So 3 unassisted. 1 out now. And, of course, I tell you what, one of my favorite players in the league, Jonah Weisner. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. And you got to love it. De La Cruz throwing strikes going right at the top of this order. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. So much movement on that pitch. Boy, the dugout, the Brantford dugout is up against the fence, loud with every pitch. 0-2 pitch. Fouled out of play. Man, he really brings the velo, doesn't he? Holy mackerel. Nice job by Weisner to get a piece of that, stay alive. Here comes another 0-2 pitch. Foul off, look out in the stands. Holy mackerel. Just missed a couple of kids there. That ball went screaming into the stands. Proves what they say, folks. If you come to the game, keep your eye on the ball. That was all Weisner could do to get a piece of that. A great job getting a piece and staying alive. A third straight 0-2 pitch as De La Cruz fills up the zone. Ground ball, foul down the first base line. That was another heck of a job getting a piece of that. I'm not sure that was even a strike. That ball was right in on the inner part of the plate. He couldn't do anything with it. And so now maybe you go back outside or do you tie him back in? Here we go. 0-2 again. Ground ball to second base. Picked up cleanly by Ortega. Throws to first. Gets the out at first base. And there are 2 outs now. Nobody on. And the Red Sox are 1 out away of beating what has to be considered a nemesis team. 14-2, 12-2, 12-1. All of these are scores from games this year between the Brantford Red Sox and the Welland Jackfish. 6-2 Brantford, 2 out. Top of the 9th inning. Ground ball foul down the third base. And De La Cruz filling up the zone here. And what a win for this franchise if they can get through with this to get that 1 more out. And the windup and the pitch. Down and out, 1-1. Ethan Mann, 2 for 3 with a home run, mammoth home run. Might have hit a house with that one. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. And the Red Sox are 1 strike away. And the fans who are here, there aren't a lot of them here, but they are loud and they are boisterous and they are standing. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Just outside and 2-2. The crowd is up. They want a strikeout. They want this bad. They are here. They are supporting this team. 1-2 pitch. Just up. Oh, he wanted that pitch. A smile from De La Cruz, and he wanted that pitch bad. It was a late breaker, but I tell you what, he's been there all night long. This umpire has called a very good game, and that top of the zone has been there all night. He hasn't given much above the belt at all. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Yes, he did. Strike 3, and the Brantford Red Sox have slayed the Giants. They have beaten the Welland Jackfish 6-2 on a Friday night at Arnold Anderson. Celebrate, Brantford Red Sox fans. For the first time in 4 games, the Red Sox have finally beaten the Welland Jackfish. What a job by the pitching staff. It started with Leandro Mejia, who gave them 5 1/3, and then Holden Craig gave them 3 1/3, and then De La Cruz, 3 2/3, and then De La Cruz comes in for a 1-2-3 ninth. And the Brantford Red Sox have done it finally. They have beaten the Welland Jackfish for the first time this season. We were talking to some of the players before the game. It seems like every other game they're playing the Welland Jackfish. Nice thing about playing them that often early, you get them out of the way. But what a huge win for this franchise. They moved to 4-9. They're getting some help tonight as well. Don't give up on this team. Aiden Armitage said this in the 5th inning. We are starting to come together. We are starting to hit. We are starting to pitch. And sooner or later, we're going to get healthy. So now we've got to get the player of the game, which is something we overlooked. So I apologize for that. So tonight's player of the game is the starting pitcher, Leandro Mejia, 5 1/3 innings of 1-run ball against one of the best offenses in the league. He threw strikes. He filled it up. He only walked 3 hitters. And so what a great job by Mejia. And, of course, Holden Craig comes in. And, again, closing it up, Jorge De La Cruz. And what a night it's been here in Brantford, folks. We thank you all very much for joining us. And I want to thank my man, Marshall Crocker, who is in the building, has been directing this program from start to finish. The reason you can see and hear things is because of him. And, of course, we also have to give a shout-out to Walker Hultgren, who got his first CBL home run tonight, a 3-run shot to be the difference in the game. And so only 6 hits all nights, right? All night long, they only got 6 hits. And what a good job done. Flawless defense, not a single error, and that's a huge thing as well. Limited the walks, played perfect defense, got a couple of clutch hits, and that's how you win baseball games. So before my voice goes out on me, I'm going to sign off. Again, thanks to my man Marshall for allowing me to do this tonight. Thank you all very much for joining us. Signing off now. Good night from Brantford.